Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome back to SciTrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel, and welcome back, of course, to some Sci-Fi Sundays.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't just sprint back over here at all. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. And it's not Stargate Outpost, although it might seem otherwise. But
it may. Well, we got to talk a little Stargate when some Stargate stuff pops up. CBR posted a fun article. Not a fun article. An article, we'll say. And it wasn't Joshua and Patton posting it, thankfully. We would have been stressed out if Joshua was bad math on some Stargate, but there might have been a little bad math on some Stargate. And we'll see if it's actually bad mouthing or not. We'll dive into the article and we'll figure that out and make that opinion on our own.
Yeah.
Yes. I ran inside the litter box had been toppled over. Great. And with roommate getting a new puppy, or girlfriend of roommate getting a new puppy, you don't want a puppy to get in litter box if you can avoid it. So had to run and do that.
Yeah. So they seem to think there's some snacks in there, which is like ew.
Not the kind of snacks I'm looking for on a Sunday morning. To be or not to be.
Yep.
Hello. Good morning.
Going
a little
secular.
Yeah.
Secular started a Klingon thread. Klingon language thread.
Where did the Klingon come in here? This one?
Right at the top. One of those, yeah.
Yeah, because he said "tek mate," and I saw this. I saw that, and he said you missed the Klingon one. I didn't see Klingon, but I'm assuming this is the Klingon version. Yep. Dang. Summon. That away. Only Klingon, you know. Klingon courses would be a nice topic for the Star Trek pod. Honestly, that would be a fun little way to end out. You know, okay, we've hit an hour 20 minutes. Let's do the last 10-15 minutes of this, or This Week in Star Trek plus Klingon lessons, or Klingon lessons into This Week in Star Trek, into the news, a little game, jump into it or something like that. I don't know, that'd be fun.
Or have to learn how to say welcome to in Klingon.
I was about to give an example, but I've only seen Enterprise and only part of Enterprise, not enough to even remotely try to do a Klingon. So,
well, there's a whole book. I mean, there's people, fandom that, they wrote it out into a whole, real language.
Isn't one of the guys that created Klingon one of the people that went on to, or was hired to create Dothraki or Game of Thrones?
Oh, I
could be misconstruing.
That seems to tickle something in the back of my mind, but I don't know for sure.
Well, all I know from the most famous Klingon is you don't hug them, and you definitely don't play with them.
Do not play games with me.
David, I got enough trouble with English, let alone Klingon.
So do we all.
All Klingon seems to be saying is "kapla" really loud.
Yeah, that's their go-to.
Well, before we dive in, I was just dealing with cats, which is the closest thing I have to being a parental figure to an animal or a human being or anything like that. Maybe besides being an uncle, but I'm more direct with the cats, of course. You though are a mom. Happy Mother's Day. It's a big important day for you, and thank you for just hanging with us, sci-fi with us, spending your time with us.
Well, I've gotten past the hard part. Mine are grown up now, mostly. At least chronologically. I don't know what otherwise, but no. I think I did a halfway decent job, I guess.
From the sounds of I had something in my brain, and I saw the what is it? I thought jellicle. I don't know. My brain went out the other ear.
I don't even know what that is.
No, I have no idea.
Sorry.
Oh. While I'm thinking about Monk real quick, though, did you see the CPM back here?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
not CPM. Oh, I wondered what that was. I thought it was one of those salt crystal lamps.
It does kind of look like one.
Yeah.
Oh, it's from Cats. Okay. I've seen Cats once because my music teacher growing up I think it was the middle school I went to. Her son was in Cats. Either her son or her brother. One or the other. I don't remember, but one or the other. She was young enough of a teacher where I think it could have gone either way. But yeah, I've watched it once and watched it then, and I've watched it enough times in my lifetime, I think, now. Cats is not a musical. It was okay. It was fine. Just fine. It's not one an underrated movie. Monk, you might be the only human on the planet to ever say that one. Sure. Yeah, the musical was interesting. I like the concepts of it a whole bunch. I don't love seeing furries dance around on the stage.
Furries.
It's the closest thing to it. I mean,
you're not wrong.
Cats led to the society of furries we have today. And I do live in Los Angeles, so they're more prevalent than most places in the world. But nothing against them. I'm not no kink shaming or nothing. Live your life, but
whatever you want to do, whatever.
Yeah. If I have the choice of watching or not watching people dressed as cats parading around on stage for an hour and a half, 2 hours, I'm gonna choose not to after I've already watched it once. Speaking of things we're watching, what have you seen and watched this Mother's Day leading up to week?
Well, I watched another episode of Mall, but I still haven't seen the whole series yet, but I'm getting there. Again, watching a lot of Stanley Cup playoff hockey, basically. What else did I watch? Oh, I tried watching Dawn of Planet of the Apes, but got bored.
That's right.
That's about it.
Crazy.
I mean, nothing.
I mean, I get it though.
Friday, we just talked about it, right? So, yeah.
Those Planet of the Apes movies, the new ones, they're predictable. I mean, they're not. You're there mostly for the performances because the acting in them are really well done, especially from the technical.
Yeah, I didn't have any complaints about that. It wasn't sucking me in.
It's more of the. That's why remember the other day when I was like, that trilogy is hard sci-fi because it's very much focused on wrapping your head around the big picture of why this is happening and all that, versus I think you'd really like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes because it's fun. It's fun. It gets into this world's established. That's already happened. Let's see what it's like.
Yeah. Maybe I'll watch a recap of Dawn since I kind of pretty much know what it is. And go to War. Is War
might just be more fun. That's not more fun necessarily. It's kind of a little bit darker, of course, but it's moving and grooving. It's not foreseeable what happened in the movie either, but you don't not have a point, Monk. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. Well, what? Okay, I don't want to anthropomorphize like apes necessarily, but like, if you were going to anthropomorphize one animal, wouldn't it be any variation of monkey or ape or gorilla or orangutan or something like that? Wouldn't that be the right one? I don't know. I didn't mean to dive into the furry topic today. Cat is okay, thank you, Tony. They both seem fine. They were, I think, just both having the zoomies and knocked over the litter box. Animals are animals. I was gonna watch some TV Saturday night, but I watched a stream that went on for ages about dragons. There would be dragons. That was a fun stream though.
I jumped on for a second when you guys were like around the 2 hour mark and almost said go home. Jumped off, but I didn't.
Okay. But yeah, what else have you seen this week? Obviously,
that was about it.
That's about it. Before I guess I think about what I really saw this week. I had to hop off yesterday at 2 hours 29 minutes, so 2.5 hours. When Melvin and I were on, if I can speak. And before I left, I was like, well, Melvin, can you hold down the fort for literally 10 minutes, or should we go ahead and end it? And he was like, let's go ahead and end it. Because I was supposed to do a little buy nothing group on Facebook, meet somebody at just a corner, grab some stuff out of their car and go, whatever kind of deal. Buy nothing group on Facebook. It's kind of like Marketplace. It could be anything, whatever. People are just giving it away for free in your neighborhood. Hey, free 99 is awesome. For free 99 though, I got to show off the goodies just because it was a really good grab. It ended up being more of a sci-fi grab than I expected it. First, though, she was giving this old record player away, and they do not make these like this anymore. And I'm very excited to have this. And it functions. There's a subwoofer with it and everything. For free. It was, I can't believe Chewbacca. Oh, God. Oh, God. The topic's bad. We've gotten crazy. But in the realm of sci-fi, I was very happily pleased. I know she texted me whenever I was going over there that there was a little show and tell, little Michael Jackson album for the
cool
for the week. This is super scratched up though, but also if it's one of those vinyls with the printed kind of on top of it, Melvin and I were talking about it a little bit yesterday. They're never as good, if it's like a solid color vinyl, like if it's a green vinyl or a white vinyl or a clear vinyl or whatever, it's typically not as good as just your standard black vinyl, like the original, just regular vinyl. But the ones with print they're never great. But hey, there's Cream, Elton John, there was a couple Donovan in here, the Moody Blues. There was this one was really cool, Television's Greatest Hits from the 60s and 70s, or 50s and 60s, excuse me. Blood Curdling Terror, a bunch of Halloween stuff from back in the day. It was really cool. Some Barbra Streisand, a bunch of stuff I wouldn't have necessarily bought by myself at the same time, but then some stuff that I should have at the same time, like Jackie Gleason here, more Donovan, Andy Williams, Singing in the Rain, and Easter Parade I probably wouldn't have bought, but hey. Flashdance soundtrack, Golden Hawaiian Hits. Don't worry, there is a sci-fi element we're getting to here. A bunch of other stuff. Al Stewart, Ear of the Cat. That's always a good one. I don't know who Lisa is. Who's Lisa and Cult Jam?
80s.
Okay.
They were big in the 80s, yeah.
And then Do I Hear a Waltz? All of those were solid. Yeah. Solid finds. I was like, you know what? That's a good one. The reason because David does bring up a good point. All sounds a bit dodgy to me. Meet a stranger in a corner, collect a bag of goodies. I'm sure that happened in The Wire, and they were bad goodies. Usually, yeah. But thankfully in California, that's not all of it, but most things that you used to go in the corner for are legal. You just go to a store now.
Yeah.
So you don't have to really worry about that. So now you just pick up good things on the side of the street, or sometimes needles. Depends what part of town you're in. Avoid that part of town. This, though, I'll let you guess what this album is. Why I
Star Wars soundtrack? I wasn't wrong. Is it John Williams?
This is John Williams.
Yeah.
I totally just started to do. You said John Williams, and my brain went right to Jurassic Park instead. I went do wrong tune. As long as it's John Williams. If Seth Rogen's involved, I won't be watching. That man has issues. I still love a lot of things he does, but he's got some issues. Yeah. But hey, there was someone brought up The Boys earlier, and I think it was probably if I had to guess. Yes, it was. And there was the most recent episode of The Boys. Huh?
Peter also had a comment on The Boys.
Oh, earlier? Oh, The Boys has turned into Seth Rogen's live-action sausage party? Oh, yeah. Well, that's kind of the I know it's not necessarily important to as many people, but from the fun little stoner kind of section of movies and all that Seth Rogen has championed for so long. In The Boys last week, and it was a farcical, kind of definitely a satirical take on just him being in The Boys episode as himself, as an actual like actor. It's not that big of a deal, and it is played for a joke, but it is kind of like he's not what he used to be. He jokes about hating weed and hating everything about it, and we're like, I've thought that for years. I was like, the thing that you championed yourself on and grew and built a career out of and have multiple businesses, and it doesn't seem like you really champion much anymore. Episode 5, episode 6 was last week. Yes, because that was Marathon Man that I'm thinking of. This last week was Homelander and V1, right? And that was crazy. I don't know this one. Oh, Milli Vanilli.
Yeah.
Now I'm with you. But to end the cap on to put the feather on the cap for the vinyls here, the one that really made me gush, and I didn't realize was in here at all, and it's the one still in nice packaging as well, is an authentic first edition of Orson Welles' 1938 War of the Worlds.
Oh, cool.
And that I went pretty giddy about. I was like, oh, it's got like the authenticator, everything down here. Ooh.
That's sci-fi.
That was like some OG sci-fi. It's really cool. Not OG, but that one I was like, oh, good find. But while we're talking about The Boys, dive into what I watched this week. Obviously, The Boys. That last episode, without giving anything away, was the episode we've been waiting for the last 3 weeks, I think. I thought the week before with Marathon Man, was a decent episode, but this last one was intense and good, and very good. I like Bombsight. It's definitely laying the groundwork for the prequel series, Vought Rising, and hey, we'll see if it's any good or not. Besides that, there was no Invincible this week. I did watch all of Maul Shadow Lord on May 4th last Monday, and woo! Rebels is still my favorite Star Wars TV show. I think it's just because what it means to me, and of course the overall story. It's just more pertinent to the overall story than a lot of the Clone Wars stuff to me, even though Clone Wars is amazing and it leads into the pertinence of everything else. But Maul, pound for pound, was fantastic. TV 14, so it wasn't just trying to be some like TV Y7 kids show that goes a little far every now and then. This was like, nope, Disney's letting them do some crazy stuff. There was a great cast in there too. Iko Diodaki is my new favorite Jedi. It's really fun to say. Also, thank you. I didn't need to turn the background music down. My bad. But yeah, it was really, really well done. And Iko Diodaki, my new favorite Jedi to say, is voiced by Dennis Haysbert, the Allstate man. And that was really fun just to listen to every time he opened his mouth, which was great. And he's a great voice actor, so that was cool. Daredevil had its season finale, season 2 this week.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
It's good. It was solid. It was solid. I do feel a little bit remiss, or I don't know if that's even the right word. I feel odd whenever the courtroom drama was more entertaining than the fight scenes this season, especially in the final episode. Daredevil, I've seen some of the different people online kind of say Daredevil bored again, and I don't necessarily want to agree too much, but it's not gripping, it's got a gripping topic and concept at hand. It's just not gripping. It really kind of makes me feel over superhero TV, and I'm glad The Boys is ending because it needs to. They can't cancel Gen V for a reason, and I don't think Vought Rising is going to last for more than 2 seasons. I'm sure it'll get a second season because it's The Boys, and they're going to go ahead and greenlight it for a second season. But is it going to make it past that? Big if. Yeah. Invincible, though, did it right. Maul, that's a return to form, which was really cool to see. Besides that, we finished 2, or the 4th and the 5th of the last episodes of Farscape, and we're finishing the last 3 episodes this week tomorrow, and I'm excited about that. I'm really excited. We'll have a couple guests hop on for Peacekeeper Wars, and maybe we'll even do Peacekeeper Wars not behind the Patreon. We'll see. Yeah. But yeah, I am actually kind of looking forward to it. I'm dreading the silliness of what could be, but also like it can't be super silly. It's interesting. Only adolescent appeal for The Boys, etc. No, that's I don't know. That's a jaded viewpoint. The Boys is the topics on hand are extremely pertinent constantly. There's been a lot of things that they're talking about within there. And do they approach things maybe in a bit of an adolescent style? Possibly. Yeah, that might be why. But just because it's gruesome for the sake of being gruesome and for that shock factor, that shock appeal, doesn't mean it's adolescent. And to frame that as that way is disingenuous at the same time. It's disingenuous to say that. It's not in a bad way. It's a ripoff of Powers. The comic of The Boys came far before. It's a show that reflects its time. I'll let that chat go on in there because it's definitely not a perfect show. And season 4 pushed it away from being as good as the first 3 were for sure. Season 5 has brought back some of that. But hey, the concept does not mean the execution's perfect all the time. We'll see. We'll see how it ends. Besides that, I think I saw the Michael movie this week, and that's about it. I haven't really even been watching anime this week. So I saw a little Apothecary Diaries, finished Goblin Slayer. I don't know if I said that last week or not. But that's about it. If it were just a superhero show, I'd have less interest in it. Yeah, for sure. Invincible is closer to just a superhero show, but also by far the most interesting take within any concept of it that's happening. Stamping feet. Finishing Time Cop with Van Damme today. Hey, that's a great one. But you know what?
But where's the little time travel thing go?
The which thing?
Just Time Cop. They sit in this thing and it like shoots them into whatever time they're going into. But then when they get to the other side, the ship that they're sitting in like just disappears. Like what happens to it? It's a show. Don't think about it too much.
Yeah.
I don't think about it too much.
Pure 90s action cheese.
Yeah.
That's what Van Damme's for though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Peter does finish off the thought with, I think it's the Seth influence that has put me off of The Boys. And you know what? If because the Boys does do a bunch of comic wise, does a bunch of grotesque kind of things for the sake of shock factor or leaning into an extremely dark humor and certain elements of things in that world. The elements of the show that are like that do very much feel Seth Rogen-y. And I feel like, for better or worse, a lot of like the it's a not a good term to say on YouTube. The assault of the nature that is the worst type is kind of played for laughs a lot of the time in The Boys, and I think that might be more. It feels at least more like a Rogen influence than it does Kripke from his Supernatural roots. You know, it's. I don't think there's a bunch of that happening in Supernatural versus bunch of Rogan movies have a bunch of crazy things in them, and leaning into that craziness doesn't necessarily make it a better show all the time. Wish it did. Doesn't necessarily. So, while we're talking about shows that we enjoy and have, vast opinions on from every different angle, we have to talk about SG1. There's no way we can't talk about SG1.
Of course, we always have to talk about it.
Now, are there 6 sci-fi shows better than SG1 before we even jump into this thing? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. It's a little bit of a crazy one. Y'all, let me know real quick. Is my camera being funky?
It glitched a few times earlier, but it's been fine.
Okay, because I feel like the last minute and a half it's been a little glitchy, but all right, if we're okay.
All right, unless maybe it's gonna. Well, I would see it though. So I think it's fine.
The prequel bait in season 5 has put me off on the next Boys spinoff. Hey, I don't blame you. Van Ham, Face Off.
Yeah. But can you do the splits like Jean-Claude Van Damme? That's what we need to know.
Laxus comes in here, says no sci-fi series will ever surpass SG1 for me. And then
hard to think of one.
So, David Hewlett's in the prequel for The Boys. Okay, that might. I was gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Now I'll definitely watch it, but it's see, that's what I would have said, David. Spoiler alert, it's not on this list.
Of course. But could we just say, I mean, they say specifically SG1, but could we just say Stargate as a whole?
Well, that's not what this one's about.
No.
Because SGA should be on this list, in my opinion.
As a show, but then that's, okay.
I can think of 3 that are arguably better. Yeah. You know what? Before we dive into this, if you had to pick 3 sci-fi shows that you would go to bat for that are better than Stargate SG1, that you would go to bat for, like, okay, we're gonna have a debate, and I'm gonna choose this side of the aisle. What would the 3 be? Could you have 3?
Well, one of them, I'd have to think about it for a while, but one off the right of the bat is maybe Star Trek DS9.
Okay.
It's also right up there. God, that's really hard to think of other things. I'd have to refresh my memory on there's so many sci-fi shows I've watched that I've probably forgotten half of them. I want to say Orphan, but Orphan Black isn't really science fiction. It kind of is. It's about cloning. Would that be science fiction-y enough?
Yeah, that is.
So if that could count,
also,
Orphan Black is really good. I gotta watch that again. It's so good.
But also, just to clarify, remember we're talking shows, because Altered Carbon and Heroes might have really good seasons. But would we rate them as shows over SG1?
Yeah. No, Altered Carbon season 1 is awesome. If you've never, you have to watch that if you haven't. I
need to.
Joel Kinnaman. Oh, it's so good. It is just so good. Yeah.
And that season 1 versus the ability of a full show to have that to say, we'll talk about very soon. Don't worry, that one's coming.
I was bummed when it got canceled. Oh, it was really good.
I'll give you. I'm trying to think of a third one, but the first 2 that come to mind are SGA and The Expanse. Pound for pound.
Oh, The Expanse.
Pound for pound. The Expanse is Game of Thrones for sci-fi.
Expanse is right up there, yeah.
Yeah. There it goes. Yeah, Peter, there we go.
Yeah.
Good man.
The Expanse has the kind of, hard sci-fi mixed with the kind of political drama and tension going on between the different groups and stuff, yeah.
It's hard sci-fi and it's space operatic at the same time. It's combining Star Trek and Star Wars and just taking the most human elements of both and adding a little bit of that what's the weird virus thing in there again? I almost said the
proto-molecule.
Yes, the proto-molecule. There we go.
Proto-molecule. I can say that word.
And the other one that I might say is better than SG1 for a pound for pound show, and it's not over yet, so it's not necessarily fair to say. And I'm speaking pure sci-fi, because we'll get into a little bit of that conversation in a minute here. But pure sci-fi, the third show that I would say is better, would probably be Foundation. I just think there's so much that happens within that, and it just tells such a vast story and such a digestible way.
I haven't read the books, so I don't have that comparison in my head, because I know a lot of people that have read the books are like, oh, you know. But for someone who has not read the books and is just watching it as a show, it's really good.
I haven't read all of Asimov's books. I have a lot of them in my house right there. All of them, they're literally the middle of like the sci-fi section, which is the biggest section, surprise, surprise, of my library in the foyer. And I still think the show's just phenomenally well told and well done.
So you got to do a boring video on your sci-fi book collection.
I'm in. I'm very in. That would actually be kind of fun. Maybe not for the viewers, but I'd have a blast talking about it, which hopefully would make it a little bit more fun. This article is written by Jordan Iacobucci, I think is how you say that, Iacobucci.
Works for me.
May 2nd is when he put this article out, and I'm not telling you to go flood his inbox at all. I'm not telling you that. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't actually do that. Please don't. But let's see what this guy's thinking. Let's see if his head's on straight here. You know. Ooh.
Include.
I would even include the first 2 seasons, but if we're talking the full show,
yeah, that's a little.
See, I'm with Peter here. I actually think the Foundation show is better than the books because of the ability to digest it. You know,
it streamlines it better.
Yeah, you know how Dune gets so vast in its lore and world and everything, and you start time jumping, and to really understand a lot of things, you have to talk about things that happened a few hundred years ago on this planet, thousands of years ago here.
Right.
Asimov's Foundation series, all of Asimov's books can bog themselves down a little bit within that, and they can be a little dry because of that. Super intriguing, but especially my ADD self, I have to read the page about twice to really get it most of the time, you know? Yeah. It's like, okay, where was I again? Just start the page over. And it definitely makes you memorize things a little bit better, but it's dry. And I think the show does a really good way of streamlining that. Speaking of, let's go ahead and dive into this article. You down?
Yes.
Let's do it. So, in the world of sci-fi television, I'm spoiling a little bit there are few shows better than Stargate SG1. Okay, Jordan's doing well. He's already acknowledged how great SG1 is.
Yep.
The iconic 97 TV series was a pioneer of a new age of sci-fi for the small screen, building a passionate following for itself over its acclaimed 10-season run. Almost 20 years after its finale, the series is still rightfully remembered as one of the greatest of the genre. As terrific as Stargate SG1 is, a handful of terrific shows managed to surpass its excellence. Whether by sheer brilliance or immense cultural impact, these terrific shows all deserve their place in the pantheon of all-time great sci-fi stories. Okay. Before we dive in, these probably do all deserve to be on the pantheon of all-time great sci-fi stories. That's not how this article was prefaced, and that's not how we're going to preface this as well. Preface this, excuse me. I was trying not to shake my desk too much at the same time. It's not if they deserve to be on that pantheon of all time. It's if they're better shows than Stargate SG-1. That we shall delve in, and figure out ourselves. Let's do it. Okay, y'all know my thoughts. Hell no. Hell no. The biggest hell no ever. And then
no, good. Deserves to be on a list, but not better than Stargate. And it didn't finish, you know?
No, it's not remotely a full
series. The
series.
movie, I guess, is supposed to, but it doesn't really.
Even with Serenity, It's a fly on the wall, a firefly on the wall. Excuse me. To SG1. Can Firefly be considered a show? No. Maybe a miniseries technically, because it only got the one season.
Yeah, it's kind of an expanded miniseries, really. With
Firefly is discussed more than Stargate among the general population, in my opinion. That doesn't make it a better show. And I would be remiss to believe that too. I would have to see the data. Because as much as people adore Firefly and love the one season and the one movie, I think 2 TV movies, 17 seasons of TV, a web series, another 2 seasons of TV, alongside an original movie that for a brief period of time was the highest grossing film ever across the entire globe.
Yeah, I just think Stargate has kind of leaked out of everybody's consciousness because it's been a while, you know, but hopefully now Amazon will do a good job of making everybody remember again.
Yeah. And one of the reasons I think Firefly is heralded as high as people do hold it, you know, is because of Nathan Fillion. He's been on everybody's screens since Firefly, and everybody that loved him in Firefly has wanted him to continue that, of course. And Firefly very well may be his best television role. That would be up for debate for a lot of folks. But I think it would, especially in our communities in the sci-fi world, I think that would be a pretty prevalent opinion that Firefly is probably Nathan's best role. And if he's been on our screens for the last 20, 25 years since, and everybody just keeps seeing him, but they're like, oh, I'd rather see him in this role. That's those rosy-eyed goggles that are rosy-tinted glasses that have definitely taken hold of. Stargate fans are just as vocal with Firefly fans. I can't speak. Firefly fans, like literally, just look at. There's no fire. Let's just look at YouTube. Is there a channel on YouTube that is large as Stargate channels that specifically talks Firefly? Because there is, of course, SciTrek talks Firefly, Stargate, Star Trek, The Expanse, Star Wars. Whenever it comes to it, all kinds of things. Now we're talking creatures and cryptids. Speaking of, hello, good sir.
Hey guys.
Hello.
I don't know. People probably think I hate Firefly. I really like Firefly. It just doesn't stand the test of time, and it's.
I think because it has such a short run, it's kind of like, I think of it akin to, you know, there's a lot of, maybe for good reason, but, you know, there's a lot of like rock stars or whatever that die at a young age. And then it's like, oh, they're held up to be this thing. And maybe they deserve it or not. I'm not going to make that point. But I feel like Firefly's kind of that same thing. Like, oh, it got canceled. It ended early. So everybody holds it up as like this thing. But it's worth being held up. I'm not saying it isn't good. It's one of my favorite sci-fi shows. And if somebody wanted me to do a list of what are your favorite sci-fi of all time, this would be on the list for sure.
Yeah, it should be on that pantheon. Like the
Firefly would be top 5 for me. That's for sure.
Okay. Just it's. I think that was. Remind me of the example real quick because it was such a great example. It just I was about to quote
what I just said. It's like a rock star that dies at a young age.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I hate that the equivalent was is about to come out of my mouth because it could be a little blasphemous, but Jimi Hendrix, very well, and I love Eric Clapton, but I think Jimmy probably had more raw talent for the guitar, and probably and Stevie Ray Vaughan and a few others, of course, are in that conversation for the greatest guitarist of all time. And hey, you know me, I like to go a little hippy dippy every now and then, but at the same time,
Randy Rhoads.
Would Jimi Hendrix, if he would have lived longer, would he have continued to have made as great music in like that world of psychedelia, kind of like Pink Floyd continued to, and so on and so forth? Or would
it would have been interesting?
Like
to see what
very
he would
well
have
could gone
done.
off the rockets, Yeah. And I don't feel like that's a bad example. I feel like you actually kind of hit the nail on the head with the Firefly to a rock star that didn't live past their time kind of deal.
Yeah.
Firefly didn't even make it to the 22nd Club.
No, it didn't.
Okay, before we dive further, Melvin, how are you, sir? And what have you seen this week?
I'm good, and I haven't really seen much this week.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it was last week, but might as well mention that we finished Monarch up as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yesterday I started watching Daredevil Born Again season 2.
That's right.
Got to episode 3. I haven't continued that yet because I was actually playing Space Engineers. So, oops.
Heyo. Thoughts on Daredevil so far?
It's Daredevil.
Yeah. Okay. It's honestly fair enough.
Yeah, they're slow burning it, but I don't know. I'm liking the kind of, I guess, headiness of it, but it's not real exciting. Yeah.
What episode are you on, Sarah?
Hmm?
What episode were you on again?
I'd have to look it up. I don't remember. The last episode I saw was, I think, the one after his wife gets killed, whatever that episode is. That's the last one I saw.
I mean,
spoilers.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, oh no. I was like, oh no.
I didn't say whose.
I think it's pretty obvious because Bullseye.
I'm sorry,
everybody.
I'm sorry.
There is a hint. There is a hint. There is a hint already. I
don't think that ruined. I don't think,
but
it doesn't ruin. The writing is on the wall.
It doesn't ruin anything. It doesn't ruin anything.
Oh please, it's pretty obvious.
Pretty damn funny. It was.
Sorry.
Pretty damn obvious.
Oh, that was great.
I mean, I'm on episode 2, and they've already said literally that Bullseye is literally gunning for her. So
yeah, literally though, like it is Bullseye's mission.
Well, at the moment he's he seems to be knifing for her. He's not necessarily gunning for her.
Hey.
All I've seen him do is throw knives at the moment. But then he is Bullseye. He can hit anything with anything.
Yeah,
very effective.
Right.
What
I got like 10 more minutes, guys. Just so you know.
Oh well, if that's the case, let's sprint through these real quick.
Right. I mean, you guys can go on without me, but
of course. But you know some of these things better than some of us.
Yeah.
For All Mankind, I have not seen.
I do not agree with this at all. I've tried. I keep trying to watch For All Mankind, and it I just get bored and I want more from it that it's giving me, and I just
talk about slow burn.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I've been
trying.
very willing and wanting to watch this series for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't sat down to do it, mostly because there's every other series seems more exciting, and I love a slow burn and I love a heady kind of thing, like you were just detailing a second ago. But it's and I love Joel Kinnaman. I love the whole cast. I love alternate history
I love Joel
stuff as
too.
well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Alternate history plus sci-fi, like count me the frick in, but also
yes,
nothing about it has made me want to die.
Yeah, I want there to be something more interesting about it being an alternate reality rather than let's just see what this is. Like in The Man in the High Castle, there's people that are crossing between the different realities.
Oh, really?
Again, spoiler alert. Sorry.
Oh no, you're.
But
well, I mean,
and I want something like that in this, or maybe that's happened. I don't know. I haven't watched the whole thing, but
no, I don't think there's going to be anything time travel wise. It's just literally an alternate history. It's essentially
right. I just want there to be somebody that's jumping between the realities or something. Something more interesting to kind of highlight the alternate reality thing. I don't know if I'm making sense, but
no, that does make sense. You'd like it to be where it focuses on the headiness. You'd rather it not just focus on, but dive into it, actually. And
that's what I want.
And if it's going to be that heady, really make it that sci-fi rather than dial it back and just make it a space show in an alternate world.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you seen it all, haven't you, Melvin?
I haven't seen the latest season. Well, I
Okay.
haven't started watching the latest ones yet, so yeah, it's a slow burn. I'm waiting for. I'm gonna
Very
wait for
slow
a binge. I'm gonna wait to binge
Hey.
it later.
There's a spin-off that
Yeah.
has already happened or is airing, right?
I'm not sure if it's already happened or if it's airing, but yeah, there is a spin-off.
You know what? That
forget
does
what it's
kind of
called.
intrigue me. That y'all aren't necessarily as I understand, but R&B, of course, Robert Meyer Burnett is a huge Star Trek person, and I think likes For All Mankind because of the headiness that's kind of similar to the way Star Trek approaches things. Is it kind of like a modern day alternate history Star Trek in some ways?
No.
No? Okay.
I
No,
mean,
no,
I
at
think
the moment, I can't remember I can't remember when they're set right now, but I think it's around
I guess
the 80s.
I'm meaning more in tonality. In a tonality and approach.
No,
No.
I wouldn't. No.
Okay. All right. Well, that
I'm
one
not
I
saying
think.
it's a bad show. It just doesn't give me what I want.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool.
Mhm.
All right. Closer to the style. Okay, because the stylings, maybe it's just the aesthetic that does it. That reminds me of that. But I don't know. So
It's like season 5 is set in 2012, 2014. So
okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's okay.
there's been a
That's
huge
wild.
jump because season 4 was set ended around 2003. Season 3 was ended 1990s. Season 2, 83.
So they're really doing it almost like anthology per decade.
It's like each season is like a jump. Early on, the first season there was a large dramatic storyline, which was like to do with the families of the astronauts and stuff. So yeah,
that makes sense. Okay, so the two shows we have already, Firefly and For All Mankind, don't beat SG1.
Nope.
Shall we go to number 3? Ooh,
no.
Nah. If
No.
it wasn't animated, maybe. But it still doesn't beat Stargate for me. No. I don't know if this would even be on my
the
all-time
Clone
list.
Wars
I came up
is
with
more sci-fi than original Star Wars. With the context that this brings, with the things that they talk about. Okay, season 1 would not stand up, but the rest of the show,
it's good.
For me personally, yeah. But that's because of the context. Same thing like Firefly. SG1 has a movie prior to it. It has 2 TV movies, and that kind of summates all of SG1. Clone Wars is the 3 movies behind it, and you can't help but think about the context of the multiple series and the multiple films behind it, and that's the original trilogy of Star Wars. That this perfectly sets up. Not just sets up, perfectly sets up.
Not better than Stargate.
I don't know. This is the only one that remotely could be close from the ones so far.
It probably beat Clone Wars. Probably does beat Stargate Infinity, but other than that,
that's easy. SG, Clone Wars season 1 beats SG Infinity.
Yeah, we're comparing animated. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, for sure. But
I'm not jaded enough to go against animation over live action. But
I'd prefer if they
George
separate them. I mean, a live action show should be compared to a live action show. You shouldn't have an anime show to try and compare whether it's better
I agree
or not to a live action, because
it's kind of
they're different things, but they're also
especially something like Clone Wars, because some people might not have might not have been around when Stargate was a thing, and they might have grown up with Clone Wars and watched Stargate later on, but then their bias will probably be towards Clone Wars because they spent more time growing up around it. So
same thing with the bias for Stargate prior to that. And if you take yourself out of both and really try to put yourself in the shoes of SciFi here and the actual series. Clone Wars does what Stargate does on a grander scale, less amount of time, less episodes, and much more. I don't know. It would be very easy to fight for Clone Wars. I don't necessarily want to not fight against Stargate.
It's a really good Star Wars show. I like it a lot, but it's not better than Stargate. Sorry.
I don't know. Season 1 was a kids show. It's not right to call the rest of that show a kids show when there's beheadings happening every 20 seconds in that show.
Well, what about the original Clone Wars movie?
No, the original Clone Wars movie that's a kids movie for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely
Season 1
definitely
and
a kids show. But that's where they introduce Ahsoka in the movie, not the show.
Sure, but it was also the first 3 episodes just wrapped into a movie. That was just the first arc.
Yeah.
But also, just to remind folks, this is not Dave Filoni. Clone Wars was George Lucas. That's George Lucas's show.
Yeah, but Ahsoka was created by Filoni, though. She is Filoni's baby.
She's Filoni's baby, yes. But George Lucas wrote the character and gave. Well, Dave Filoni, I guess, wrote a lot of the outlines of the character and so on and so forth. George Lucas isn't necessarily writing episodes, but he's overseeing the entire series and making sure it flows the way it should. So it's a George thing.
Oh wait, was Filoni in charge of the creative team behind the Clone Wars? I can't remember.
He was
showrunner, but was he was the head of the creative team. For
the same way Brad Rao has been Filoni's supervising producer on all of his different projects in recent memory. Filoni, being George's kind of protege, was his supervising producer on everything and his historian. He was very much in charge of that. Pablo Hidalgo is the actual official Lucasfilm historian, but Dave Filoni is Pablo Hidalgo plus when it comes to knowing Star Wars stuff. But yeah, the character of many lives. She is a cat. Not actually, but hey, close enough. There are cat characters in Star Wars. Talk about furries. Don't get back there. Moving on.
Jesus Christ.
Before Sarah has to jump on out of here.
Yep.
Foundation.
It's just they're so different. It's hard to kind of make that comparison.
We just did it for Clone Wars.
This is going to be a close. It just kind of depends, since it's a series that hasn't finished yet. It's hard to kind of, how is this going to end? Is it going to end as good as it's been so far? I might say this is better than Stargate, or very close. It's like right up there. It's a very well done.
Only visually, though, right?
A lot of it is visually,
But...
and Lee Pace is great in it also. But
I was about to say, character-wise, even though it's not like interconnected storytelling within. You're not like. You're getting generational storytelling with some of these characters rather than them having conversations all the time to really
it's just such
grow as a person and here. It bridges the gap really well.
Well, I mean, the thing about Foundation is, with with one of the main characters, is it the Emperor or whatever his name is?
Which one?
The Emperor. Well,
I know, but there's three.
There's the older version and the younger version.
They're all technically clones.
There's Dusk, Dawn, and Day.
They're all clones. Dusk, Dawn, and Day. It's just
they're
all the same beings.
Yeah, it is.
Cleon, the Cleon dynasty.
Cleon, the whatever number is. Yeah.
Cleon, yeah. I can never get into Foundation. I watched season 1. I was like, visually it looks great.
The last season had kind of a brutal ending as far as clones go.
Yeah, visually, we're not thinking visually.
Yeah, it's really it's interesting. I like it. Just feels kind of a little bit different than things you've seen before. The way the show runs and just how it looks visually and just the generational storytelling thing. I just find it very interesting. it it speaks to my real my more hard sci-fi nerd brain.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
this is the thing about Apple's sci-fi, though. I mean, as far as I can tell, right, Foundation, you have Invasion. Invasion's the other sci-fi from Apple.
Yes,
and
yes,
you also have another one as well. But to me, tonally, they feel the same. They don't feel different to me.
I can see where you're coming from. I don't think, if we're talking about the show itself or how Apple approaches their sci-fi, that's a whole different topic. That's kind of, but the way Apple does all of their sci-fi, whether it be Invasion, Severance, Monarch, Foundation, any of those.
But my curiosity is, how much AI did Apple use
for Invasion? I mean, for Foundation?
For all of them. Because, like I said, they tonally, they feel the same. They feel like, and it's only recently that I've been considering, well, what if Apple stuck the script through an AI and the AI literally changed some parts of it to make them feel the same. It's like using the same AI algorithm sort of thing.
They would have been sued into oblivion by now. Like they legally can't do. Yeah, they legally can't do that. There are elements of AI that can push a production process faster, but especially after talking with I guess a few different folks about AI and the actual production process right now. It's nowhere near the right.
You can understand where I'm coming from with the feel of the
sure, shows. But that's I think that's what I tried to specify there. That's the way Apple approaches as a company. Apple hasn't done a lot of feel good fun shows. They have Ted Lasso and like Mythic Quest. Outside of that, everything else on that, whether it's fantasy, sci-fi, drama, interpersonal things, they're very, very brooding, very like dark. They're tonally all the same. That's not just sci-fi. It's the approach that the heads of Apple are taking, and I don't think that means they're tossing it in an AI and just having that. That they just prefer darker storytelling, right, wrong, or indifferent. And that's what we're getting on Apple. It has brought
the aesthetic.
Great stuff. Yeah, the aesthetics there, tonality, Foundation's the exact opposite of Monarch. Now, aesthetically, there is a lot of overlap actually, because it is that kind of.
See, that's the thing. See, when I was watching Monarch, I don't get the feel of that. Just Apple may have been, Apple may have made it, but they must have had so much input from Legendary, which is why, for me, everything that Apple does tends to feel the same. But with Monarch, because it's Legendary and Toho are involved, it feels completely different.
I don't know. You could show me this. If I didn't know that was an obelisk from Foundation right there, you could tell me that is a portal opener for a Titan and Monarch, and I would believe you in half a second. Because aesthetically,
you could argue that could be a symbol for Mothra with her ring straight up.
Honestly, though. But like, even though visually that might just be how the company approaches things, and it is darker and broodier, and they could kind of have that crossover in looks, story-wise and actual series-wise. Nah. Severance and Foundation are totally different. Invasion.
It could just be. It could be. My issue could just literally be because they use the exact same people from the same VFX company. Could be just that. Could be the same. I could get the same feeling literally because it's the same team. For all I know, I don't know who the effects team were that did it. So if they're the same people, then that could well be what gives me that feeling.
Yeah.
And because it's Apple.
Oh yeah.
All right. I gotta get out of here, guys. So.
Okay. So.
Thank you for hanging.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. And happy Mother's Day to any mothers watching now or in the future. All right. Thank you. All right. I'll see you. Oh, tomorrow. Anyway, I'm gonna message you something. Anyway. All right. I'll see you guys on Farscape Trend tomorrow.
Farscape Patreon, finishing out the show.
Yep.
See ya.
See ya. All right. Do I go full?
But I think you can understand where I'm coming from. Where it feels the tonally, if they feel the same, and the VFX could very well be the cause of it, because they do feel the same.
Tonally is like almost aesthetically 100%. I get you, because that's where, like, I mean, honestly, that kind of does look like it could pop out of Monarch. I've only ever seen the first episode of Invasion. It looks like
hell. For all I know, I mean, Apple could have released that without me knowing it was from Foundation. They could have released that, and I could have thought, "Well, hang on, wait a minute, are they bringing Batra into Monarch?" You know, that sort of thing. Because I mean, you got the bat's wing shape, a similar shape to a bat's wing. You know, not necessarily the moth ring, but I mean, you could definitely say that it's something along those lines.
Yes,
but like I said, I mean, it's got to be the VFX that make it feel the same to me.
Yeah, and I can get that. A bit more of a uniform company approach. Right, wrong, or indifferent from it. Yeah. But yeah, tonally, where they all still tend to be darker in tone and brooding, it's the shows are different enough where I don't feel...
They feel to me that it feels like the same show, but it could be like one of them's older. Like Invasion is like thousands of years ago, that sort of thing. That's how it feels. It feels like they could fit in the same universe to me.
Okay.
Which kind of would make sense. I mean, but like I said, that could literally be just because of the VFX team. If they use the same VFX team, the same style, dark tone, then that could very well be it.
That makes sense. That does make sense. Show-wise, I don't know. I still love
better than SG1. Better than SG1. Fuck off. No way.
Foundation is, for me,
let it run for 5 seasons and then we'll look back at it.
Even if it just runs for one more at 4 seasons, pound for pound, I think it's going to be better than SG1 for me. This is only second to The Expanse for me. If not, this is on the same level, if not better quality than The Expanse.
See, there's the thing. See, I grew up through the 90s, which means I saw the early days of CGI. I mean, for a lot of the stuff that I watched when I was growing up in the 90s, most of it was practical models and stuff like that. They moved into CGI with starting on TV. They started with Babylon 5, which was full CGI at the time, so it was all very new. Then we had DS9, where they started incorporating a little bit of CGI. Then Voyager, where there was a lot more CGI compared to previous Star Trek shows. So I've kind of seen the evolution myself of the CGI. Yeah. So I've seen where it started out with wired diagrams on a old computer monitor, all the way up to realistic. You know, like in Battlestar Galactica. What, 2004?
Yeah, and the Expanse and Foundation's gotten even better looking since then.
The Expanse itself was an evolution. I mean, they were doing new things with the Expanse as well.
The Expanse looks so good. Foundation's the only show that looks better than the Expanse, sci-fi wise, I think.
Yeah, but that's the visuals.
Most of it is kind of dark and broody. Yeah, I'm talking visuals.
Visually. Yeah, visually, modern day stuff. Most sci-fi is modern day sci-fi. Wouldn't be fair to compare with, say, SG1. Because SG1, they barely used any CGI at the beginning. I mean, most of the CGI was fairy lights for the gate. So, yes, it's just those things. So, comparing them visually, 100%, they look better. But are they a better show just because of that? I don't think so.
Yeah, it's.
I'm trying to be fair here. I mean, like the Lost in Space for Netflix. To me, that is way better than Foundation, and I can't compare that to SG1 because it wouldn't be fair. Because visually, they are so different.
Well, yeah. I'm not comparing the visuals. Story-wise, Lost in Space has a more distinct story.
Yeah.
I still like the story of SG1 more.
Well, Lost in Space had
like
that one arc.
Foundation.
Yeah. Whereas Foundation is like, where the hell are we going this time?
Well, the whole point of Foundation is the arc. And I really adore that. I love that. That tickles me, my fancy in a big way. But yeah, I can understand that. That makes sense. To continue moving on, which this is the biggest no in the world. Doc Who?
Holy shit.
Better than Stargate? Stargate did, and I said this to Sarah before the stream started too, is Stargate did what Doc Who did in 60 years in about 5. And then kept going and did better. So I don't know. I know we got some Doc Who fans, and Doc Who's great. And
if they were talking the 2005 one comparatively to SG1, then maybe they're pretty close. But I wouldn't say Doctor Who was even better then. And I'm glad that they're using that's Matt Smith there in the back at the back. So
yeah, John Hurt.
They're not using. It's before Jodie Whittaker. So and to me that makes sense because that modern day.
We're talking about the entirety.
Started going downhill. Yeah, but it started going downhill after Matt Smith was regenerated into, I can't remember his name, but yeah.
I don't know.
That's the thing.
But
Doctor Who. The thing is, for us Brits, Doctor Who was a cult thing. It is not just a cult thing; it is part of our culture. And literally, they ruined it with those last 2 fucking seasons. Before that, they could have done something to repair it, to fix it, but now it's just put it on the shelf and wait 10 years.
Yeah, I don't know. I understand the cultural bias, but if we're talking the actual ability to have a great show and pound for pound, even Stargate's the better show.
Yes,
the cultural relevance is different. Sure,
yeah,
the better show is SG.
But even I literally said SG1 is better than Doctor Who, even the 2005 Doctor Who. I'm literally saying that. But I mean, I'd rather not compare Doctor Who to SG1 because they're not far off. For me, they're not far off. But SG1 is the better show.
All right, that makes sense. I can understand that. Monk said no Star Trek. Wow, For All Mankind was already up there. What do you mean? Fair.
And I'm glad that people in the chat are agreeing with me. That's good. I like that.
I think there's one more in here. There's Doc Who, the last one. Yeah, there we go. Battlestar Galactica turned a cult classic into a phenomenon. I am going to figure out my answer on this one sooner than later. I don't know my answer for this one. This is the only one that I can tell you. I don't know. Clone Wars, I'd fight for.
Again, comparing this version of Battlestar Galactica to SG1, I don't think it's fair because visually and story-wise, you got a completely different way of doing things to what SG1 had. SG1, to me,
we're talking about the complete show.
Different. Yeah.
Quality. Not necessarily the visuals.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Okay, so for me, SG1 started going downhill around the end of season 8. I think it was.
Oh, wow.
Was it the end of season 8? So it was when O'Neill was promoted to general and he was put in command of SGC.
Yeah.
So we stopped, and for that season, we spent more time around the SGC watching, laughing because, O'Neill was running the SGC, and it was like he had no idea how to do it. He literally didn't want to at the time. He didn't know what he could or couldn't do. And it was fun, but it completely changed the tone of the show, as in, the the SG1 isn't going off-world. We're not seeing that much off-world stuff, right? And then season 9 came in when we had Mitchell introduced as the new leader of SG1, and it's like, well, yeah. I mean, the final 2 seasons were, in my opinion, it was like Game of Thrones. The final 2 seasons were just not up to scratch for me. But I love SG1 up to that point.
Interesting. Because, I really do like the final seasons. I do think they should you and I need to do a pod on this if you haven't seen it. Me and Sarah are actually, after Farscapetrion, our Patreon podcast after, is going to be watching the entirety of Battlestar Galactica. Old to modern. We might have to.
So you're going to be watching the original, huh?
We were planning on watching original first, but it looks like it might take a few more months for that to be on any streaming service. So we might start with Caprica and do chronological Battlestar.
Oh, chronological again.
Always. You got it. If the universe they set up makes sense, we have to make sure it does. We're not chronological, baby.
So you're saying you're going to start with Caprica. So you're saying that you're going to start with Caprica, not the original.
Yeah.
Oh god.
I think does it either go miniseries Caprica show or does it go Caprica miniseries show?
Caprica is a prequel. The miniseries is essentially the pilot for the show.
Okay. So Caprica does come first.
Chronologically, yeah.
Cool. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Jonathan just put in here twice. Stargate Infinity is underrated.
You know what? I think you need to put a vote in the chat. Which order you should watch Battlestar Galactica? Original, starting with the original, or the prequel, or Caprica. You need to. No, that's it. You have to do it. Like, chat. What do you think? Should he do a poll and say what should we start with? Should we start with the original?
Caprica. We've got one vote in already.
Hey, no, I liked Caprica. I mean, I liked Caprica, but you know. Oh yeah, Blood and Chrome is actually part of the series, so that's different.
Yep.
You do
original, like old Battlestar,
Original, yeah, of course. Original is the original Battlestar. Forget the 1975s. What?
It's gonna be a fun. I am excited for it.
I mean, hell, you could start with Caprica, then watch the original, and then watch the remake. Because that way it would even fit. Well, not really, because the original's different.
The original intent and goal was to watch the original series with the TV pilot that was supposed to be the next series, and then the movie that happened back in the day.
What do you mean the TV pilot that was meant to be the next series?
It was supposed, because there's it's like 1978, 1980, and then there's like an 81 or something.
No, I think in 1981 they put the pilot episodes together to make the movie. Or are you thinking of the night the Cylons landed?
The pilot movie is from 78. The series was 78, 79, and then Galactica was the 10-episode 1980. Okay, so I'll just reorder.
You don't have to watch the 1980. I mean, no one would complain about you not watching 1980.
We have to.
I mean, I liked it, but it wasn't the same.
Life's too short to watch these ancient series. Hey, you gotta expand the repertoire where you can, you know. I don't know. I'm excited to do this. I'm excited for the entire Battlestar process that there will be.
And here I was hoping that I would eventually have someone I could have the debate with as to what the comparison between the original and the remake when it comes to the Cylons. Because in the original, the Cylons are created by an alien, a lizard-like alien.
Is this species. Spoiler or
huh?
That's not spoiler or nothing.
Well, no, because they literally say it in the first episode.
Okay.
But in the remake, Cylons are made by humans. So there's a big difference there, big difference in story there. The whole point was the original Cylons were created. They destroyed their own their creators.
And kind of like replicators.
Kind of like they have no interest in organic life, basically. So, yeah.
50-year-old spoilers are moot. This is not
exactly. But you could have said that about You could say that about Stargate if no one's seen Stargate SG1. You can say the same thing. It's old.
That's true.
Spoilers are moot. The spoilers only matter if you haven't seen the show and you care about it, and you care not to see spoilers or hear spoilers. So.
Like Daredevil season 2, a brand new show coming out right now. That was great. That was great. She was like, "Well, Power Rangers."
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for spoiling it for me because I haven't got that far yet.
I know. I was like, I think you're literally like either 1 episode or 2 away. I think you're 2 away. I think that's episode 4. I think so.
Thanks.
You now know where your stepping stones are for the season. Jonathan's to go. Oh wait, go for it. We can dive on that in a second.
That's all right. No, carry on.
Stargate Infinity is quite underrated, Jonathan says.
Quite
Infinity is underrated and overlooked, though it's pretty good. Sarah and I the end of last year, we watched the entirety of the show to be able to form our own opinion on it. It's not our favorite show in the world. Conceptually, though, I did enjoy some of the things they had. The villains are cool. I like the Tlacan a lot. The Tlacan, I could see becoming a villain in the Stargate show with Martin Garrow. I doubt they're going to use them or do anything like that. But if they were really trying to keep all the little Stargate pieces in a succinct puzzle, I could see the Tlacan being a really cool villain from Stargate Infinity going forward. Yeah. But I just don't find anything else in that show compelling. Sarah's from Seattle. My name's Harris, not Harrison, but there's a Harrison and a Seattle, and we were like, these are our favorite characters. And even by then, we were like, this show's it's a show. I do hope Stargate does another animated show, more so along the lines of like a Lower Decks first before they dive into kid stuff, but I can see a kid show down the line.
I mean, I'll tell you, Stargate Infinity is probably a great child's introduction to Stargate Universe. It's probably fair to say that.
Agreed.
Just like if you don't think your child is ready to watch the original series of Star Trek, then there's an animated version. So
yeah,
maybe that would be better because animation would probably keep the child's interest more. So yeah, it's good. It's a good introduction show, maybe. But
that it is.
Yeah. If you're an adult watching SG1 and then all of a sudden Infinity comes out, you're like, what's this shit?
Well, it's
I'm not lying. No,
and we felt the same way. The other thing that I guess was interesting about the show was it felt like it was more of a sequel to the SG1 that was the SGC that was taking place from the original Stargate movie. It felt like it was more, okay, well, we went Egyptian and now we're going to go Aztec, kind of, or Incan, or Mesoamerican, kind of like Dean Devlin and Roland Emmerich's original plan. It felt more along those lines than it did SG1, SGA.
I believe they expanded it across more ancient civilizations, whereas like Egypt, whereas with SG1 in the final seasons, that was more medieval England mythology, and it was like, yeah. King Arthur wasn't real,
I don't know. I loved all the Mirrodin and everything. Had a good time with it. Different tonally than the first.
I like the way they did it. Don't get me wrong. I like the way they did it. It's just.
I think some of the best acting happened in the last seasons, and that definitely pushes my love for the later season doing more. Excuse me. Peter brings up while we're talking about it. He said this earlier. I think sci-fi as broad a spectrum as all TV. Sci-fi is a broad spectrum, as all TV is, and SG1 is as well. But he also said that SG1 is light entertainment, and stuff like The Expanse or even Foundation is drama, etc. Yes and no. Like, there's definitely a levity that they add to everything, but also, remember season 1 was a Showtime series? That was very dramatic. I mean, Children of the Gods.
Well, put it this way: season 1 of The Expanse, before season 1 of The Expanse, it finished airing. It was cancelled by the network over here. So the network that was airing it in the UK, which is the SciFi network, they cancelled it before it finished. So
really, because of its darkness or what?
No, because the SciFi network didn't want a show that could potentially last for 10 years. Because I think we had Stargate still on at the time. And they were concerned that they were going to be tied into another sci-fi franchise. For some reason, the Sci-Fi Channel didn't like sci-fi franchises. Which is really weird.
You're going to have more success?
Exactly. We're going to have more success. It means you're going to have to pay more money for this stuff. But, they just didn't... It's like they did with other shows, Space Above and Beyond. The network started putting that on late at night when people weren't awake to see it on a stupid weekday, where people are going to be getting up early to go to work. You put them on at that time, you kill the show because no one can watch it, and you care about ratings. You want people to watch the shows.
Best example of that is Firefly.
Yeah. I mean, Space Above and Beyond. There's so many. Even Firefly, they ended up putting Firefly on at a stupid time of night on a stupid day.
Yeah,
I think it was like Sunday evening about 11 o'clock. I think at one point, but I think that was a rerun.
Oh, yeah, okay. Would you say that SG1 is light entertainment ultimately, though? Because where it can be, I think they dive into some really tough topics. I mean, literally, the whole show is about freeing slaves, like galactic slaves, and killing gods. And they're actively talking about, we're going to go steal technology from people that we have never met before, and that's our literal goal. Also, let's go kill some
dark moments. It had its dark moments. I mean, SG1 didn't literally win every battle straight away, right? They struggled, so I wouldn't say SG1 is light.
It definitely has levity.
Yeah, The Expanse is completely different. I mean, The Expanse, it's very dark, in comparison. Yes, there's some light stuff in there. I mean, you got the romance between some of those cars and some of the characters, but other than that, it's very dark, very, very brutal. People getting literally entire ships being evacuated into space, and people flying out of the airlock. That's not dark, really.
Yeah, well, that's TV 14.
It's not just drama. That's not just drama.
Yeah.
That's.
I mean, we start with this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're kind of similar in that sense in a lot of ways, where they both use levity well, but they use levity most of the time, not all the time. And SG1 does have more room because it's a longer show, has more episodes a season, has more characters as well.
That's a monster of the week.
Yeah,
a monster of the week, crisis of the week.
But ultimately, who's the funny guy? Who's the funny person in The Expanse? Sure, you might get some levity within the romance and stuff, but the two funniest characters in The Expanse are Amos and Bobby. Your badass ones that are going around fighting stuff. Kind of similar to who are your funny people in Stargate, SG1. Cam and Jack, realistically. I mean, sure, everybody else has their moments, but it's Cam and Jack.
Well, I mean, they all have their comedic moments. Like the time when Carter brings up MacGyver in the show. I
love that so much.
So, and the fact that they put it in on purpose, just watching the cutscenes of that, watching the behind the scenes footage of that is fucking brilliant. It's like
MacGyver mechanic. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I find SG1 to be light entertainment. I think it is talking about far too deep of topics. I think they do such a good job of bringing levity and helping you digest those topics. Where The Expanse, at times, later on, it does a better job of helping you digest. Season 1, especially with Miller being around, old Thomas Jane. Yep. It's focused on being dark and gritty, and you're gonna figure this out not by this end of this season, but we're gonna push you forward in the next season and give you some stuff to chew on.
Sure.
It wasn't a perfect simile. Totally, yeah. McUseless was great. I love that. But I mean, I'm just kind of like thinking about it as we're talking about it, and they do kind of have a very familiar approach in a lot of ways. Because SG1, where it had plenty of levity and stuff like that, let's just take like big moments across the series. Of course, talking about freeing galactic slaves the entire time of it, literally upheaving the largest religion on a galactic scale in the Milky Way galaxy is twice, technically. It's a pretty thing. Freeing an enslaved galaxy isn't dark. They don't approach it like Star Wars. It's
it might not be dark, but it's noble. It's a noble.
Yeah, it's noble.
A noble thing.
Dark.
But but there were dark moments in that. So
everything Anubis ever does, everything Apophis ever does. I mean, just think about the first time we really meet Ball, and he's
Anubis. It's Apophis, isn't it?
Which one? Apophis and Anubis both were pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, they were pretty bad. Anubis and Apophis were pretty bad. But then you got some characters like Bull, and it's like, it's very humorless, very funny.
Well, definitely didn't start off that way.
It's funny. Yeah, exactly.
Ball got the scariest introduction of any villain, which allowed for the personality of the Goa'uld, aka just Cliff Simon, just being as awesome as he is.
Yep.
Or was, excuse me. But it started off with him being the scariest Goa'uld we'd ever met. Torturing Jack the way he was, literally.
I think they did well with they did very well with the Goa'uld arrogance. That was for sure. Yeah, sarcasm. Yeah, brilliant.
I don't know. Yeah, they're both so good. But ultimately, out of all the things we did look up earlier from this article, six sci-fi shows better than SG1. Firefly and For All Mankind. That's right. Were the two that we immediately said no. Star Wars. There might have been some debate. Ultimately, we'll see.
This is where that's the thing with Clone Wars. It's where the age of the person comes into it, because if you grew up watching Clone Wars, then you would have a completely different view on the comparison between it and SG1.
Maybe. I think we go outside. We're such a specific sci-fi circle here that I'm probably the only one, maybe besides Schmook, that would end up saying that, and that's might be because of the age range we typically have, and so on and so forth, or whatever it may be. But
I think that's the issue with the comparison between.
I'll give you an example.
Generation. It's a generation split, right?
Sure.
So we have a different mindset because we watched it at a different age, right? And we didn't have Clone Wars at the time, so
but also yes, but. Because there are folks like Monks brought up, Robert Meyer Burnett and John Campia, who he streams with all the time. They're both 50 plus, and they would both agree that the Clone Wars is a better show than Stargate SG1. I could almost guarantee you that, and that's because of the context it provides to a larger series. And SG1's as good as it is because it founds that larger series and provides a lot of context outside.
Well,
of
I mean, here's something that might be a good comparison. What is your favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie?
Isn't there an animated Ronin movie?
Yeah.
Okay, I think that would be it because I really like that. Yeah. Although I do love the 90s.
Is it that was the newer one, right? The newest.
Maybe I TMNT movies. Every TMNT movie. There's here. I'll share here so we can see. Is that visible? Here's theatrical. I don't know if it was theatrical or not. The 90 and 91 movies I love. And 3. I guess I forgot there were 3 of them. Oh yeah, I grew up having those on DVD.
I think I'm trying to remember, I think the 90s, the 1991 and the Secret of the Ooze, I think they were theatrical, and I think Turtles, the Secret of the, I think the third one, I don't think was in the theaters. I think that was straight to video.
That sounds right, because I had all 3 on VCR.
Yeah.
And then TMNT 2007, a CGI animated adventure focusing on the brothers after splitting up. I vaguely remember. I don't know if I really remember that. That should be the one I know the best because I was 8 years old, but also I can't even think of it off the top of my head. I'd have to put this in a new tab and figure that out myself.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the Michael Bay stuff. Oh, yeah. Oh, I remember this one. Yeah, I remember this one. This one was really good. It was really dark too. It had yeah.
Isn't that the one? Is that the one where they added the female turtle? Or am I thinking of a series? I think I'm thinking of it.
Yeah, that's an older series.
Yeah.
This one is the one. See. This is what I think I was trying to talk about. Because I remember Raphael in his cool armor. Is it Night Watcher armor? Yeah, I really like that armor because it really delved into like the gritty Ronin aspect of stuff, but it was Raphael rather than Mikey. And I like that aspect of stuff a whole bunch. But I barely remember it. So if I really had to pick one, it'd probably be the 90s live action.
Not a very good comparison. Not a very good comparison to pick for me then, because that's my favorite one as well.
Well, you also got to remember, I might be younger.
Maybe I should have gone different route. Maybe I should have said Batman instead.
Oh, interesting. Real
that
quick,
might have been a better route to go.
Did you see the one from 2023 with Jackie Chan as Splinter?
No, I didn't.
It looked like crap. It looked awful. It didn't. It was like, okay, this is just animation, like Into the Spider-Verse style, but it looked like it was just super silly, super childish, super dumb, and it was really childish. It was definitely aimed towards a younger demographic, but it had everything
you just said. Everything you just said that's bad about it is the exact reason why I didn't watch it.
But it was surprisingly I went in not thinking it was going to be great. I expected the worst, and it's so good. It was so good. I was very happily shocked. With that. I was like, oh god, April's all different. Everything's different. They're really swinging for the fences here. Whoop-de-doo. They swung and they got a home run. It was awesome. Yeah, Casey and the female turtle. Which one? Was that the 2007 one? Because I don't remember the female turtle.
It was an animated series. I think it was the New Mutation.
Yeah, she was introduced in like the either late 90s or early 2000s in like an animated series. Yeah. I just don't remember what was.
I can't remember if it was the New Mutation or the New Generation or something like that. Something along those lines.
Well, and season 1, especially of Clone Wars, real quick, was very much child oriented. I mean, there's still a lot of non-child oriented things happening, but season 2 literally opens up with the Senate being held at gunpoint and taken over by bounty hunters led by Cad Bane as he's like killing off senators and stuff. And you're like, oh, this isn't Yoda walking around giving younglings a lesson anymore. This is, whoo. But yeah. Okay, Batman though. And it might be age-wise, but Batman Beyond was the one that I just sits with me. That's the one I feel like is the best quality. The one that would probably be my it would either be Beyond or Brave and the Bold as my favorite. And Brave and the Bold was definitely one it was the sillier one that I grew up with as a kid. But I adore the animated series. I adore all of them. Or were you asking Batman the series or Batman the character, as in movies?
Well, any of them, any of them in the franchise, in the movie, in the Batman side of it.
What? Before we go to the movies, what are your thoughts on the animated things there?
Yes, a lot of the animated stuff has been pretty good, regardless of whether it's Batman. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, in the 80s, I was watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Nice.
So, yeah. As along with, I think I remember. I think the animated Transformers, the original animated Transformers ended, and I think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out around that time as well. If I remember right, I'm trying to think, but I think that's about right. So, yeah, it kind of had the transition from Transformers to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for me.
That makes sense. That 80s into that early 90s there.
Yeah. And then the 1990 Batman movie is my absolute favorite Batman movie.
Keaton? Good. Yeah, because
Batman's Returns wasn't that good. Wasn't as good.
I still love it.
But
I still love it.
It's still good to watch. I mean, Michelle Pfeiffer.
And frickin' Danny DeVito.
Oh yeah,
that was
great.
My dad showing me that movie growing up. I think was it's the first time I remember watching Danny DeVito on screen.
And I think out of those movies, out of the original movies, not the Dark Knight and everything, but I think it's the first time we actually have the same actor playing Batman more than once in that group.
Yeah. In a film wise, outside of
it was very much like James Bond, where you ended up with a different actor playing like Bruce Wayne and stuff like that.
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
Which is something we haven't had since The Dark Knight. We had it in Flash. In Flash, he goes.
We had the Flash. We brought back Michael Keaton. And George Clooney.
I thought it was great. That was the best part of that show. That movie.
That was definitely the best part of that.
Having Keaton back as Batman.
And even the end. Even the end, though, with George Clooney popping up as Bruce Wayne, as much as that movie is not great, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. That's kind of fun, I'm glad they didn't continue with any of it necessarily. Just that one and done was all it needed, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
Those parts of the movie might be great, but also it started with microwaving babies.
It wasn't enough to work. It wasn't enough to save the movie in the first place. But those were the best parts.
Yeah. Having fun multiverse stuff of other properties to make your movie remotely make any sense to work.
I mean, it's like
not a great movie.
It's like Spider-Man No Way Home when you get all three of them.
Yeah. Which, that was a lot of fun when we saw it in theaters. I really don't like that movie all that much now.
Yeah. Having some of the the classic bad guys come up, teaming up, Green Goblin, Octavius.
Yeah, that
Great.
that was a well done Frankenstein movie. Rise of Skywalker and
Well, it's kind of
Borderlands.
it's a team up.
Bad.
It's a villain. It's a Spider-Man villain team up that I don't think we've had on the big screen before.
No, and they've been trying to get closer to the Sinister Six for a while. At the closest we've got.
At the end of the second Amazing Spider-Man movie, they tease the Rhino and what's the other one? Rhino and what were those two bad guys? It was Rhino always teamed up with
because it was Paul Giamatti as Rhino. It was Lizard and 1, Electro and 2. Rhino was there as well.
Rhino was there in the final scene. He's what brought Spider-Man back because I think Peter had that flashback to Gwen, didn't he? And Gwen wouldn't want this. Yeah.
Oops. Hey, I'm gonna save you, Gwen. Oh.
I just got to deal with Bailey quickly, so I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, no worries. I'll answer your Batman question there, and I think it might have been Vulture because Vulture was supposed to be the next villain in the Raimi films. I don't remember who the next villain was for that because I remember that they showed a little. Oh, Green Goblin was the other guy in Amazing Spider-Man 2. Duh. Dane DeHaan played him. Was that going to continue? I don't remember. It's been so long. If I'm going to answer Melvin's question about Batmans, though, my favorite Batman, yada yada. Yeah, that I'm not going to seem my age with because you would typically think, oh well, Christian Bale, right? Maybe even Robert. No, it wouldn't be Robert Pattinson. That's not my Batman. But as much as I love Christian Bale, and as much as I love Joaquin Phoenix, as much as I adore Heath Ledger, my Batman is Michael Keaton. He's the best Batman. Christian Bale may have had the better film, like the Dark Knight trilogy are better quality films and a better acting performance maybe, but embodying the character from the comics, Michael Keaton. Both Bruce and I don't know, Christian Bale might be a better Bruce to some degrees, but I prefer the films and Michael Keaton as Batman. And same thing with Jack Nicholson as Jack Napier. I think even though Jack Napier is not the name of the Joker in any of the comics, except I think they have changed that a little bit and kind of canonized that name at some points. Some points, I think. I'm not super familiar.
Was it Scorpion I'm trying to think of? Rhino always teamed up with Scorpion.
Or because Scorpion he's coming back in the next Spider-Man movie for the first time since
I get a sense that that's what I think. If I'm remembering it rightly, they always teamed up. Rhino and Scorpion always teamed up.
They're typically together.
Yeah.
Not always, but they're typically together. It's kind of like a Bebop
which could have made the ending of the Amazing Spider-Man a lot better.
Nice.
They could have did great for the third movie if they went with it.
Well, they shouldn't have ended with that anyway. Like that was just such a. If you have a post-credit scene, put it in the credits. Don't make the end of your movie that. Like, it was like,
I think before the credits run, I think they wanted people to see that Spider-Man is going to be Spider-Man again. Peter wasn't going to be giving up because that's the tone. But after Gwen died, that's how it felt. It felt like Peter was going to give up, and then all of a sudden, he had his realization that Gwen would never blame him for that.
Yeah.
Even her dad wouldn't have blamed him for that. Because isn't it his dad? Her dad's ghost always comes in and says, "Do you really want to put her in danger?" Blah blah blah.
Yeah. Also, though.
He might not say it, but whenever
Peter's so smart, he knows physics like that. He knows that's not going to save her. He knows it. At that point, just go and do two. Like, get either side of her. I guess spiderweb in her face and then her feet wouldn't have been like the best option either in the world, but also might have saved the spinal cord. I don't know. It's one of those moments.
Well, no, I mean, it wasn't her back or her neck. It was the back of her head, wasn't it? She hit her head on the floor.
Oh, no. No. She doesn't ever touch the floor.
No, you see her head bounce off.
That's not her head bouncing off the floor. That's the bungee of the webbing.
No, I think her head. The way I remember it, her head bounces off the floor, but you see her hanging from a web like that, with her head off the floor. But the web is elastic, like you just said, which means that when it took her weight, it was stretching. Her head hits the floor, and then you see her with her head like that. I think it's her head. That's the way I see it.
I might have to Google this, but I don't necessarily want it in my Google history either.
That's the way I remember it. I remember it being her head hitting the floor.
I think a lot of people think of it that way, but I think it is just the spinal cord.
Because I'm pretty sure you literally hear. I'm pretty sure you even hear her head hit the floor.
See, I think that's the spinal cord.
No,
snapping.
No.
Yeah, from a broken neck caused by the whiplash of Spider-Man's web catching her too late. Oh, with the caveat, because it's both. The answer is both. From a broken neck caused by the whiplash of Spider-Man's web catching her too late, just as her head strikes the ground inside the clock tower. So it's literally both. No arguing. I'll tell Mommy Sarah, hey, we have to have argue time sometimes. It's too fun.
Hey, yeah, exactly.
Come on.
Hey, it worked the other day.
Too short? Huh?
It worked yesterday, so shush.
Heyo. They are different characters, Monk says. Favorite Batman, Ben Affleck. Best Bruce Wayne, Christian Bale. Do you have a... Because I'd ultimately say, I guess, Christian Bale is best Bruce Wayne, but Batman for me is Michael Keaton. As much as I like Ben Affleck, and I think he could have had more to do with, I don't think he had enough to actually do with, and I don't like the Snyder approach to that.
I don't think many people do.
Nope. Do you have a choice here? Would it be Keaton or who?
No, Keaton.
Keaton all the way around?
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. Oh, Jonathan.
I mean, for me, Keaton was like, you could see. I mean, Keaton was probably, for me, he was the darkest Bruce Wayne. It was like it was almost emotionless, but the emotions were there, but they were hidden. So the character was good at hiding these emotions. But yeah, the Batman, you can't see emotions anyway because of it.
Yeah, I'm not speaking specifically to you, Jonathan, but Robert Pattinson's Batman is the worst thing. So it hurts my soul so much. Bruce Wayne is and hey, everybody has their own opinion. So it's and I'm an old soul in that sense because I'm on the Keaton run there. But hey, I love Robert Pattinson. He's one of my favorite working performers right now. But someone that refused to work out for the role of Batman, and you can blatantly see the difference between them and their stunt doubles the entire film, is not the best Batman. Easily. That alone tells you they're not even willing to become remotely characteristic enough of Batman. Definitely, and that's why I tried to preface with I'm not hollering at you. I just can get on a soapbox about Robert Pattinson as Batman all day because it's so bad. It's so bad. It's Matt Reeves' worst written film when Matt Reeves is such a good filmmaker. Robert Pattinson as Batman, it could have been so good. It hurts my soul. It hurts my soul, which is why I get so frustrated about it. Because Matt Reeves could have done a better character. Could have done a whole slew of better characters. Zoe Kravitz was perfect as Catwoman. But that is almost like that was a shoehorn in a way where Robert Pattinson, as much as I love him as a performer, definitely not Batman, not willing to even remotely become Batman as a character. And the Bruce Wayne, Nirvana, Kurt Cobain style is just the exact tonal opposite of Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne is not Batman. Batman's supposed to be.
I just love how the stream has suddenly been taken over by Batman.
At first, it was TMNT. Now we're Batman. Hey, and good. I'm glad you do. I really am, actually. It hurts my soul so much because we could have gotten what could have. That's the Firefly for me. But instead of thinking about it in like, oh, these glassy, rosy glasses, I'm more like, what could have been? What happened? What? It kills me. Because he's one of my favorite working actors, and the movie sucks so much in my opinion. And the Penguin, the TV show, is phenomenal. There's not a second of badness in that show. It's so well done. So even the stage that was set's not bad. But Rat with Wings, you can't figure out that's Falcone the entire time. I know. I get a little heated at times with it. Not heated, but I get excited. I get ramped up. Oh, Affleck. I was like, what? Actually show the physicality of Batman better than any other iteration? Yes. Christian Bale and Ben Affleck did that aspect better than anybody else. But Ben Affleck
I think the thing that Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne and Batman had was they showed the physical effects of being Batman. So what was it? The Dark Knight Rises?
Yes, specifically then when he's training in
he's
that cave.
Literally physically shouldn't be capable of fighting anymore. So I mean, he literally has Fox come up with that exosuit, that thing to help him fight, doesn't he? The robotics or something you put in the suit. It literally does that. Yeah, and with that is probably one of the best things about Christian Bale's Batman. Is he literally has the physical, result of what happens when you push yourself so much.
Yes.
Affleck is definitely better at Batman than Daredevil.
Is that what the next question is down here? Affleck certainly had the height and look for sure. Affleck as Batman over Daredevil for sure.
Daredevil was bad.
The only thing about it though, because I think his physicality.
I feel that the shorter Batman is much better because he's literally got to fight upwards at these opponents. That's what for me that felt more realistic.
Yeah, that trilogy was focused on the realism aspect of Batman too. And for Affleck, that's one of the things that didn't do it for me because he was a bigger dude in that sense, and he took the time, and I don't mind that actually. But if you take the time to become such a strong,
what did he do that for? Was that for one of those other movies? I can't remember. Because didn't he?
What did they do?
Didn't he buff himself out for what was it?
It was Batman.
Accountant, was it? Was it the accountant?
I guess he stayed strong for the accountant.
I think he buffed out for that.
Before Batman, yeah, because Batman was all first. And the thing that really gets me about that is they end up animating over all of his really cool action scenes. And I have no problem with that whenever the world is a little bit more fantastical, like the Snyder stuff is. But at the same time, if you're going to get this, there was no reason for Ben Affleck to work out and get as big and buff and as strong as he was if they were just going to be CGIing over all of his fighting anyway. That's what kind of gets me about Affleck as Batman there, and it's not Affleck.
For sure. The Accountant was a good film. The
Accountant,
you see the second one? Not so much.
I still love the second one.
Not as good. It's still fun. It's still fun, but it's nowhere near as good. It's kind of like it was kind of like Nobody 2. Same thing.
I still haven't seen that
it. I like Nobody, but Nobody 2 not as good.
I think Monk and Jonathan asked us a couple questions here. A couple betters, as I guess we're talking about the Batman stuff. Oh, look, Peter said earlier, I still think Rick and Morty is the best sci-fi animation. Yeah, I think I'm with you. I really like Solar Opposites and Futurama and stuff like that. I love Futurama.
I never really got into those.
That's understandable at the same time.
I tried, but I just couldn't get into them.
Jonathan asked earlier, Michael Keaton better as Bruce Wayne or Beetlejuice?
Beetlejuice is a larger performance than Bruce Wayne was.
I think so.
I think better as Beetlejuice, but Bruce Wayne in the original Batman movies didn't really do a lot. Didn't really say a lot. He had the romance thing, but in Beetlejuice it was more performative, I suppose you could say.
And I don't think his Bruce Wayne would have been as good if Beetlejuice hadn't have. We've already said it more than 3 times. We're screwed. Michael Keaton's popping out any second now. But there's I don't think his performance as Bruce Wayne or even Batman would have been as good if it weren't for Beetlejuice, because it was such a wild thing that he knew where to be.
Yeah, it's a performative role. Beetlejuice is a performative role.
And it allowed him to kind of
there's a lot more work
some stuff within the Batman world, which was cool. It helped.
Yeah.
We're all doomed now. Hey, David Mazouz was a good Bruce Wayne and definitely the shortest and the youngest. Yes. I do like Gotham. It's not the best show in the world by the later seasons, but hey, it's a solid show. Better Ridley, Jim Carrey or Paul Dano? I love Paul Dano. That movie's so boring and it doesn't know what the hell to do with its Riddler most of the time. It's not well written and it doesn't know what the hell to do with its freaking Riddler. It kills me. But I still might go Paul Dano. As much as I love Jim Carrey, Batman Forever, and I love Val Kilmer. Batman Val Kilmer.
The way it felt for me is it was Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey. He wasn't being the Riddler. He was literally being himself. It was literally being Jim Carrey in every role he's played. Maybe not every role, but because some roles lean into that type of character. Like, I suppose in Kick-Ass, he wasn't himself. He wasn't Jim Carrey. He was completely different.
Yeah. Well, even like Jonathan points out, Carrey in the Mask. That's very much not Jim Carrey until he puts the mask on, and then it's super Jim Carrey then. And there are elements of that, kind of like even Dr. Robotnik, thinking the most modern kind of stuff with his sonic stuff. Elements of it are very not Jim Carrey. Then of course, super Jim Carrey's the rest of it, and it works.
Dr. Robotnik his Dr. Robotnik was very much as if he's 2 different people, right? Like in Me, Myself, and Irene. It's very much like that.
And he does really well. And Truman Show.
Yeah, he does all that stuff very well. It's just it does get ultimately a bit much.
Agreed. And that's why, even though I love both as actors and their performances are so different, and although I really, you've heard me, I'm not a fan of the Batman movie. I think Paul Dano is the better Riddler.
Well, let me just put it this way: I probably watch something like Me, Myself, and Irene more for Renee than for Jim.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense. If you had to choose better Riddler right here, though, Carrey or Dano at the end of the day?
Probably Dano.
See, me too. Even though I don't like the Batman. If Robin Williams would have ever been able to actually get that role, it would have been him. It would have been him.
I don't think he would have fit the role, to be honest. It's like you look at what Disney done. They remade Aladdin into live action, and just look it's just
Robin Williams' ability to perform, though. I think his acting would have elevated whatever around him would have been. Especially back then. Because the next question Monk tosses at us is better Two-Face, Tommy Lee Jones or Aaron Eckhart?
Jones, of course.
Tommy Lee Jones.
You're the opposite.
I mean, Tommy Lee Jones does his best Jim Carrey performance in Batman Forever. Batman Forever, whichever one. I wish we would have gotten Tommy Lee Jones' performance without having Jim Carrey on the set.
Mm-hmm.
Then it might be Tommy Lee Jones for me because I love Tommy Lee Jones. But I think Aaron Eckhart. I think it'd be Aaron Eckhart. I wish Aaron Eckhart had more time as Two-Face.
I think that's what does it for me. I mean, he didn't have enough time, so yeah, I think that's what did it. That's why I choose Jones, to be honest, because we don't see Eckhart enough as Two-Face. Because he's not really Two-Face until towards the end, the second half of the film. So
yeah, and that's when he's literally himself at the same time. So
yeah.
Same with X-Men. He's nice. I'm gonna raise you a different question here. That's also the same question. Who's the better Harvey Dent? Tommy Lee Jones, Aaron Eckhart, or Billy D. Williams?
Oh, Eckhart probably.
Because I think it's either Eckhart or Billy D. I love Billy D's.
I think Eckhart was better because I think he fit the role well.
Agreed. If Billy D.
But when it came to Two-Face, when it came to Two-Face, it was like you didn't see enough of him as Two-Face. That's the problem.
Agreed. And we can't even put Billy D. Williams in there because he never got to Two-Face. You know, he just was only Harvey Dent back in '89 and '90, right? Or '91,
yep.
'92, '89 and '92. Was that the right years?
I think so.
Monk asked us another question here. Better Riddler. Oh wait, you already asked us that one.
That's the same question.
No, just done differently. Well, yeah, if that's the case.
Hey, getting extra time on screen. There we go.
Booyah. Williams was incredible though, and he played the bad guy very well.
Oh yes.
He could overwhelm, but completely draw back at the same time, like he did for Good Will Hunting, Bicentennial Man. I mean, there's a lot of so good. Jack Nicholson, best Joker, cool. Oh, better Penguin for Farrell or DeVito?
No. Jack Nicholson was not the best Joker.
Who's the best Joker for you?
Who do you think?
Ledger?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think Jack Nicholson is closer to.
I think Ledger was so much better as Joker.
Really?
But if you think about it, I mean, he was more of the animated series Joker than the movie version, because obviously we had Nicholson as Joker in the 90s, but in 1990, so yeah, great job, great role, great movie. But Ledger is, I think, comes across as a better Joker. Or came across as a bit better Joker.
So, I'm of two different minds here, where Jack Nicholson is the best comic book Joker put to screen. Since Heath Ledger, and there was a little bit before Heath Ledger, not nearly as much, but especially since Heath Ledger, most of the Joker stuff now is so much darker than it was prior to Heath Ledger, and a lot of that's because of Heath Ledger's performance. But that's not the character of Joker that was. Is it the character that needed to be portrayed in The Dark Knight, in Christopher Nolan's gritty, realistic version of comics coming to real life? Yes. I think Jack Nicholson's the better comic book Joker. Who gives the best Joker performance is Heath Ledger. Joaquin's up there. Joaquin's right up there with him. It just
from Joker, maybe.
Yeah.
Not the other one, was it? Folie à Deux?
No, I didn't watch
Folie à Deux. Folie à Deux. Flop à Deux.
Oh. Mark Hamill's voice is amazing as well. Let's take this as the final one. Final question for the day. Pfeiffer or Barry as Catwoman?
Pfeiffer.
Kravitz. What? Huh? Yeah.
Although I did like Anne Hathaway.
I was about to say Anne I think Michelle Pfeiffer was great
Mm-hmm.
because we got to see more of her. I think Zoe Kravitz and Anne Hathaway first, though, and then Pfeiffer. And as much as I love and adore Halle Berry, that and the movie is not the worst movie in the world. It's not good though. It's just I understand enjoying it. And I did not enjoy it, but Halle Berry's the last one. Pfeiffer actually learned to use a whip in real life. Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she did. I know she didn't learn. She was a natural with it. She literally did it from picking it up once. She was shown how to do it. And then she was shown how to do it. And here's the funny thing, right? She was shown how to do it. Then she picked it up and did it first time better than the instructor.
Some people only need that kind of stuff.
You know? The whole point is the crack. It's not the swirling and looping of it. It's the crack that the whip makes.
Yeah.
And she did it so much better than the instructor did. And she even hit the target first time as well.
Well, it's kind of like throwing a baseball or something, where if you release the ball over here, it's going to go in the air somewhere. If you're going to release it in your eyesight where you know exactly where it's going, it's going to reach where you're aiming. Mm-hmm. Same thing for that whip is you want it at the end rather than flip it over here so it doesn't hit my leg or something, right? Yep. Like it is really interesting. Oh, we forgot to answer that question. Farrell is the best penguin. Yeah.
Yes. For sure.
I love Danny DeVito. But Colin Farrell, he did really well. I also honorable mention and maybe even a better penguin than Colin Farrell actually in the comic thought process is what's his name? Robin Lord or something like that. The guy that played Oswald Cobblepot, the Penguin on Gotham, was really, really excellent. Penguin actor at golf. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Oh my God. I couldn't type or get to my mute button fast enough.
Bless you, my child.
Thank you. Robin Lord Taylor is the guy's name.
I didn't like him, so.
You didn't like him? Really? I thought he was perfect as Oswald. The Birdman questions. To me, whenever you say penguin, this guy comes to my brain first.
I mean, visually, yeah, but I mean, performatively, no.
He definitely looked the part for sure.
He looks the part, yeah, for sure.
Performance-wise for the show, I'm still there, 100%. If we're talking like performance necessary for project, I'm still going Robin Lord Taylor. But if we're going performance necessary for project and quality of project, it's Colin Farrell. Yeah. He was in The Walking Dead for a very brief, I think, one episode and his legs.
Most people were.
I remember Gotham coming out right after, like I think it was a few months after his episode of The Walking Dead. Because it was a really brief episode where he was really prominent, and him and his girlfriend in the episode were really prominent, and you're kind of thinking, are these two gonna kind of become characters with Rick or something? Like Rick in The Walking Dead's kind of off by himself, and maybe these two will. Maybe it wasn't Rick. I think it was Rick though. I might be misremembering, but runs into those two, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna save these guys. Something. He gets done in his own trouble and kind of caught up in whatever's going on. Kind of comes back to where they were in the house later, or in the yard where they were, and all you see is like a couple pairs of legs. Everything else been eaten. And you're like, well, that's The Walking Dead for you. And Robin Lord Taylor might have had a good moment or two, but didn't see him again until Gotham, and then he had a lot of good moments, thankfully.
Yeah, but hey, you got to start somewhere. Just having Walking Dead in your credits is probably a good thing to get jobs later on.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to reverse my stance earlier. I could care less about Dano as the Riddler as much as it pains me to say because he's such a phenomenal performer. The guy that played Edward Nygma in Gotham, what was his name?
Oh, I can't remember.
He's super good.
Not so much of a Riddler though.
Very much Riddler.
Corey Michaels. Well, I know because I mean a lot of the time he loses his chance. He loses his capacity to do riddles, doesn't he? He can't figure them out for a long period of the show because of he was frozen, wasn't he? He was in a block of ice, wasn't he, for a long time? Then he gets thawed out. It was. And then after he's thawed out, he can't do the Riddler thing, can he?
That's for a moment, and then he comes back worse and like the most Riddler he ever was, you know.
Well, see, that's the thing. I watched a lump of Gotham. I didn't watch the final 1 or 2 seasons. Or the last season. I got to a point where Bruce was starting to become the Batman figure. Yes, that was about it. That's about where I ended it.
He looks like Waldo. Gotham as a show is rather underrated. I do agree. Those later seasons, those last kind of couple that you were saying, are where it starts to kind of it's like we want to do some big things with our characters, but we can't do big things because it's early Batman stuff. You know, it kind of starts to run into that conundrum.
Another problem is with me because didn't Titans run alongside Gotham as well?
No. Titans ran alongside Doom Patrol. Gotham was a few years before Titans ever came out. It ended. Yeah.
Okay.
There was a Batman movie pitch with Michael Keaton playing an old Bruce Wayne, but it got scrapped. And we got him playing an old Bruce Wayne and Batman in the Flash movie instead of that. I still wish we would have gotten that movie, though.
Yeah.
Actually, I really don't.
Although I do admit that with Gotham, I thought, well, when Gotham finishes, does that mean in a few years afterwards we're going to get an actual live-action Batman series? But I don't think that was ever going to happen.
No, I don't think.
But the problem is, they could have after Gotham. They literally could have. They had an opportunity, but they're not.
Totally. But the final seasons didn't get the viewing numbers or anything like that. Too. It was definitely even if the quality wasn't as good, it hadn't declined quality-wise all that much. Viewership though it was I believe a heavy decline. Monk asked, or Stanley's asked us first, where do you rate?
Was it Sean Pertwee? It's Sean Pertwee in Gotham, isn't it? He's great. He was great.
He's my favorite Bruce Wayne. My favorite Bruce Wayne. He's my favorite Alfred Pennyworth. I don't know where I said Bruce Wayne.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I think the original Alfred is always Alfred. God rest
Adam West Alfred?
From 1990 onwards.
Well, see, I love that actor, and he's the perfect old guy.
I think if you want to know what version of Batman it is, just take a look at Alfred. Which if it's not that old guy playing Alfred, then it's like a different. They change. It's a different universe type thing.
Sean Pertwee.
I think it was Michael Caine. Michael Caine was Alfred in the Dark Knight trilogy, wasn't he?
Yes, and he did just a fine job. I think him and
Michael Caine always does well. I mean, he's a great actor.
I don't see much of a difference between him and the Keaton Alfred Pennyworth. I just don't remember the actor's name for Keaton, and that's purposeful to a lot of ways. And I guess Nolan does give Michael Caine a little bit more to chew on at times, especially the ending of Dark Knight Rises and stuff. But there's nothing unique. Every other character in those films, even the Nolan films, are very unique. Michael Caine could have been Michael Keaton's Alfred. Michael Caine could have been Ben Affleck's Alfred. And there's not, and that there's a certain element of that that's awesome because it translates to all the other ones.
Yep.
Nonetheless, though, I would have preferred a unique personal performance where that just felt like, hey, Michael Caine's a grandpa. It didn't feel like he was really actively helping Batman like Alfred does. And there are moments where they kind of lean into that. I think Sean Pertwee, to me, And part of that is I was younger growing up. Like I was in like high school, middle school when Gotham was coming out, and that was the perfect age to watch that kind of stuff. But Sean Pertwee, even if the rest of the show ebbs and flows, is consistent throughout. I think he's the best Alfred. I really do enjoy it. I did not get to see, though, Pennyworth. Did you ever check that one out?
No. The problem is it's just another prequel style thing, isn't it? That's the problem.
That's what I wasn't excited about. Pennyworth and Krypton kind of released around the same time, and I was not interested.
Yeah. I was more interested in Krypton, but when I watched Krypton, I was like, yeah, it's not what I was expecting. Far from it, you know?
Mm-hmm. The Lucius Fox in Gotham was awesome. I love that actor. He was really good in the new It series as well. David brings up, but it also had Will Smith's dodgy wife in Gotham. J.P. Smith was weird in that too. Who's J.P. Smith in there? I don't know J.P. Smith off the top of my head. John Patrick Smith? No, J.P. Smith actor. I don't recognize this guy. You mean Jaden Smith? Or are you talking about her son? Oh wow, only managed half a season. Wow. That feels like it was playing with the idea of Sean Pertwee's Pennyworth and doing it pre-Batman, though, which I didn't dislike the idea of, but it was just it's too much. Too much. Too much.
I mean, you're talking about a prequel of a prequel. You're talking about a prequel of a prequel. That's the issue.
Exactly.
I mean, it's like, oh look, what's happened? Like we had Game of Thrones, and then everyone loved Game of Thrones. Oh, let's do House of the Dragon, do a prequel. It's like, yeah, and then what do we get? We get Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which is another prequel.
Oh, but Night of the Seven Kingdoms was a sequel and a prequel, and it technically had novellas out far before House of the Dragon ever did. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't. Game of Thrones, I give a little bit more of a leeway to because it's not.
Yep.
We'll see in the next few years because now they're going to start doing all these specific character prequels and sequels and spin-offs like Sea Snake, Arya, yada yada. Like, but
here's the funny thing is, before Night of the Seven Kingdoms was announced, in my view, I remember them talking about doing was it Rhaegon series, which is the prequel to House of the Dragon. Is it Rhaegon? Was it
Rhaegar?
Was it Rhaegar the Conqueror or something?
Aegon the Conqueror.
Aegon the Conqueror. They were going to go back to the very beginning of the invasion of the Seven Kingdoms. So, literally, that's what I was hoping for as another prequel to House of the Dragon. But then you get Knights of the Seven Kingdom. It's like, yeah, it's good, but really not what I wanted.
No, it's my favorite Game of Thrones. Night of the Seven Kingdoms is my favorite season of Game of Thrones. Anything, so well done, and it's pound for pound the most watched Game of Thrones project ever made as well. 36 million viewers average an episode in its first season. It's insane. Although, I guess you might not be familiar with it. You know, they are making an Aegon's Conquest project right now. I believe, actually, I don't know if they said just yet or not whether which avenue they were taking, but Warner Brothers had two different script writers.
I think the way I'm remembering it is I was reading an article and they were saying that it's an Aegon the Conqueror story. So
people thought
that's where
it would be.
I didn't think it was going to be called that, but Conquest makes sense.
Because House of the Dragons, the actual like book is not a serialized story in the sense that Game of Thrones would be, or even the novellas like Dunk and Egg and all of that. So people thought, well, if we're going to do all of the House of the Dragon, it'll be time skips and all this kind of stuff, and we'll start with Aegon's Conquest and work our way down because that's where the book starts. But they chose not to do that. They started with Viserys, Jaehaerys' heir, and so on and so forth.
Well, all the time jumps happen in season 1. Season 2.
Season 2 also had.
We don't have as many. It's not as large a jump.
It's not as many, but it is just as large a jump.
Yeah.
It is like a 7 or 8 year time jump. They just weren't going to recast another time.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't.
Like it did before. Because the main characters are not jumping a huge age. Different, you know?
Yes, Battle Master's so good. Aegon's Conquest, though. Okay, thank you. Monk solidified my thought there. And they still are doing Aegon's Conquest. The thing that they were going to do, Warner Brothers put out, I don't remember which script writers did what, but they had one script writer making Aegon's Conquest into a mini-series, like a season of television, maybe meant to go further, and write your pilot episode for that. And they had another script writer making the script of Aegon's Conquest into a film, into a feature-length film. And whoever...
I don't like the film idea.
That's the one they're going with.
Of course, they would always go with the one that I don't like. I would rather have more time than just a feature movie, you know?
With Aegon's Conquest, it's not.
With Aegon's
it's going to be better.
It's got to conquer 7 kingdoms.
But what does most of that look like? It would be, and yes, Game of Thrones could fall into the politics more of it and everything like that, but realistically a good 2.5 hour film is all the amount of time you need to tell Aegon's Conquest, at least in the initial stages that you need, because most of it is him and his sister wives flying on dragons. Nobody's saying, there's very few people in the conquering of the 7 kingdoms was not that difficult with 3 dragons.
Not with the dragons, no, of course not.
No. A whole season of that. There's a reason they did not start with that for House of the Dragon TV wise. You know, it's not a compelling season of TV. It's the same thing over and over again. Every episode is dragons riding into new fiefdom saying, "You're part of us now." All right, you don't like that? We're gonna burn a few of you. You're part of us now. Yep. All right, on to the next one. It would have just been rinse and repeat, where this film...
Well, it would have been the same without them. You just have large armies instead. You'd have an army defeating a smaller army. You're part of our kingdom now.
If that were
same
the case,
thing, essentially. But
the weird caveat there is that Aegon didn't fly in with armies. No. It was literally him and his sister wives. So if there were the armies at their back to take over, that would be a more elongated story to be told. And there's an element to that, and I'm sure there will have elements of that into the show, or will include elements of that, into the film. But with how rinse and repeat it is, just until the actual conquering has happened, I think 2.5 hours is a perfect amount of time. And if it's good enough, they could make it into more than one film. The first film, to me, they have to have everything conquered by the first film. Like the conquest should be the first film. And then afterwards, if they were, I don't think you could really do more of a duology with Aegon stuff. Because the second half is more dealing with his sisters and ruling for the next few years after that. And there were turmoils and strifes within the ruling that he had to deal with, and that would be enough for a second film. I don't think they should go past that with an Aegon stuff. Hey, make a couple other Game of Thrones type films, there might be room for that, but depends, because most of those Game of Thrones stories, like you just said a minute ago, Melvin, are definitely more fortuitously told on TV.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I prefer Game of Thrones and that world being on the small screen, regardless, because it's been there ever since it started, right? It hasn't been on a big screen, has it? And we know what.
Yes, no. Yeah, they're such a big show.
Yeah,
they don't treat it like the small screen. They treat it like the big screen. That's what makes me think, like, hey, let's do it. because there is an argument that Game of Thrones has ruined TV in a lot of ways. Everybody's just wanted to be prestige TV after that. Literally, Game of Thrones marks prestige TV, lessening of seasons, shortening this, and we've seen that approach kind of kill a lot of modern TV, but also it's brought us some really cool stuff at the same time.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the thing that I've always said. I mean, the problem is with modern TV is we're getting shorter seasons. It's just ridiculous. You know, I don't like watching 10 episodes when I've grown up watching 20 plus. It just doesn't make sense. And it takes them 2 years to make 10 fucking episodes? Seriously?
Well, yeah, and literally, I think the little
26 episodes. 26 episodes of Star Trek used to take them a year.
Well, I mean, talk about Clone Wars earlier. I mean, we talked about it the other day. I'm kind of in that weird spot.
Animation's different. Animation's different. It's a lot more work to go to animation than there is into live action. So,
but they still did 22 episodes a year. You know, like I feel like my age group. We kind of talked about it the other day. Is that Zillennial, like technically Gen Z, but still was born in the 90s, even if it was 99. Like still.
Well, I mean, it would have been made easier. It would have been made easier because obviously it's computer generated imagery, right? For Clone Wars, it's mostly. It's not literally drawn by hand like the anime out of Japan would be. So, I mean, once you've got the models in the computer, you can manipulate them a lot easier than redrawing the same image in a different people in a different
especially position. If you already have the asset.
Yeah, because if you remember animation, the proper animation, you have to draw a different picture for every single minutia movement of someone speaking, which is why you always see them talking with their mouths open most of the time, you know,
running or fighting or anything like that. Like it's
everything. It has multiple images of the same thing just to get someone to move. I know
it's one of our regular topics. I just don't feel like anybody after kind of like my era got to not my era, because I guess technically Gen Z is still that era to a degree, but anybody born after like I don't know, my little sister was born in 2002, kind of past that age, didn't really get 20 plus episode seasons of things. No. You know, even like the Disney Channel shows and the Nickelodeon shows I'd watch growing up, or my little sister would watch growing up. It still had 20 episodes. And then I think that kind of would have been like the precipice of 2001, 2002, 2003-ish, somewhere around that time. After that, just wasn't a thing anymore. Like Clone Wars, Avatar, and we're talking a little.
I think it coincides with streaming shows, popularity of streaming shows. I think that coincides with it when they dropped the numbers, because obviously we were getting more stuff on streaming than we were getting on actual TV. So I mean, TV they had the 20 odd episodes, but for streaming, I think they think that we can make less episodes, get it on our platform quicker. But then again, they say, but at the same time, they're not getting it on their platform quicker because we're getting a lot less with a big gap in between seasons. Which in my opinion is the problem, because I mean, yeah, you can see there's a benefit. You can see exactly how popular a show is.
Yep. By
looking at how many views a series gets over the 2-year gap in between the seasons. You'll definitely be able to see how popular it is, because people want to remember everything that happens, and they've got to wait 2 years to see what happens afterwards. So they're going to rewatch it a couple of times at least in between. And that will give you the amount of people that are interested in it.
And Joshua Patton talked about it while talking about Starfleet Academy with Greg and Sarah a few weeks back. Is a lot of these shows, you either need to get that second season out quickly or have a big back catalog of things to watch. Starfleet Academy
and
was
streaming platforms has it. That's streaming platforms have it. Netflix has multiple things you can watch. But the thing is, I mean, if they put one, say they decided, we're going to put this one sci-fi show on this year, and then for the rest of the year, we're just going to throw loads of drama and real crime stuff on there. So, yeah, you're going to see the popularity of which ones, aren't you? different audiences watch different things on the platforms. So just because you might get 10,000 views on for example, I'll just say you might get 10 million views for one show, which is like a true crime drama.
Yeah.
But then you might get the same amount of views for the sci-fi show that you put on over a longer time frame, right? But you got to bear in mind there are going to be more women watching the true crime drama, and that's a fact, right?
Yeah.
Than men watching the sci-fi movie or show,
and vice versa at the same time. Yeah,
exactly. Because I mean, there are a lot of women that have a lot of time on their hands. So what do? They all watch their true crime stuff during the day, right?
I mean, it's the whole. I mean, Greg and I have talked about it with the verticalization. All the verticals kind of happening now is the thing that keeps verticals alive is overseas, and not necessarily like outside of Western country, overseas, and stay-at-home moms, kind of stuff like that just have.
Yeah, that's what's keeping things like TikTok. That's keeping TikTok alive. But the problem is, I mean, I've said it to you off stream, haven't I? I mean, the thing about TikTok is that you end up getting people that want to look exactly like these people that are making these videos, but they don't think that the people that are making these videos are using a filter and they've got tons of makeup on, so they don't actually look like that in real life. You know.
This is also a point. Yes, very much so. I mean, there's a filter to everything, and there's also a filter to the way the views are too. Like there's a filter to how much they'll earn according to that. $10 million, 10 million views from a reality show gets you far more money than 10 million views than a sci-fi show. The sci-fi show might end up making more money at the end of the day a year later because of merchandise, because of this, and that, and it is a better, maybe there's a better opportunity to further your dollar with the sci-fi property, but you spend a lot less money on a true crime or a reality show, for that example.
Well, I mean, I'm going to defend Monkey here because I mean you got David speaking out about it, but I disagree. I mean, you can say that women do equal reality shows. Reality shows, the audience for reality shows is more women than anything else. So
it does depend on the show nowadays. It's kind of changing.
I think the stats would actually reflect that for pretty much any reality show. That it's mostly
for most reality shows, yes. Maybe outside of like Storage Wars or or like Bitchin' Rides or Top not Top Gun, Top what's your favorite again? What's the one? Isn't it like a car show? Top something?
Well, you mean Top Gear?
Top Gear. Thank you. That's the one. I was like, it's super easy. I just couldn't think of it off the top of my head. Those would be more oriented otherwise, but the vast majority of reality shows skew demographically female. And maybe that changes a little bit now with podcasts kind of almost being that reality kind of comment of things. But it's still demographics are demographics. When you're making a project, you still have to look at your 4 quadrants, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing. Right? If it's about
female, 25 younger male, 25 younger female,
if it's about machines, if it's about fighting, if there's a lot of action in it, if there's a lot of robots, spacecraft, a lot of pews, a lot of gunshots, that's a man's show. Men are going to watch it. But a reality show, like talking about random shit, men aren't going to be interested in that. You know?
Yeah. And for the example, just opposite that, think of Lord of the Rings, you know? Lord of the Rings is a man's movie in a lot of ways. Yep. But at the same time, it might not be I'd
argue actually. Well, Lord of the Rings, which kind of reflects that actually kind of reflects the truth in that with Rings of Power, right? The perfect example. They tried to shift audiences with Rings of Power, right?
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, you could argue like Lord of the Rings is very male, orientated movie. It's like we want to see large battles with and the occasional attractive elf appearing and stuff like that. That's a man's movie, right? That's men are going to see it and men are going to enjoy it. Plain and simple. We're red-blooded men, so we like what we like. But Rings of Power, the audience they were going for didn't show up.
Well, there are elements of it, but it's not, they just didn't know what to.
And I'm not even mentioning the issues with everything else around that aspect of entertainment. So I'm not even going to mention P. I'm not going to mention. So because I don't want to get into that conversation. Yeah.
Well, real quick,
everyone knows my opinion on things like that. At least if you don't, you should.
What? Well, you know where to go if you don't know them.
Yeah, just watch my Doctor Who videos. You'll understand.
The docus. Check them out all right here. Y'all know the deal. Y'all know the deal. Or if you're in the vertical stream, up here. One of these places. All the above. And that actually left perfectly. That good timer there. Also, I forgot to do it while she was here, but it's Mother's Day. Y'all go hit that subscribe over on Sarah, just to help her out a little bit over there. I think there were a couple quick little comments that I starred, and then let's get on out of here. We're nearing that 3-hour mark. Is it 2026 or 1920? Yep. I don't know where that question came from, but okay.
No, it's weird.
Monk and Stanley's both asked if we liked Cameron Monaghan's Joker. Technically, Jerome and Jeremiah Velasca, because they could not utilize them as the Joker name within the show. I like them a lot, and I like Cameron Monaghan's take on it. I think it was definitely more proto Heath Ledger Joker than Joaquin Phoenix's was supposed to be, even though Joaquin Phoenix's was supposed to be proto Joker.
Yeah, but I remember there was that thing at the when after Joker came out and after they left the box office and stuff like that, people were starting talking, and I remember there was that thing going around that that he wasn't the real Joker and that the real Joker actually kills him in the hospital. That's what I remember reading. People were thinking that the real Joker literally kills him.
And then they made Folie à Deux, and Folie à Deux, although I didn't see it, I'm familiar enough with the plot where
for me, it's like they came out with Folie à Deux because that they were basically wanting.
They wanted money. No, they just wanted. At the end
they
of the
wanted
day,
money, and they wanted money, and they wanted to piss off everyone that was saying about the the joke.
Todd Phillips was literally saying that. It was like, this was not supposed to do what it did. I'm glad it did, but also they're forcing me to do this other one. I'm going to piss everybody off, and he did.
Yeah, and they literally
did. Jonathan did ask as well: Ghostbusters or Ghostbusters 2? What's better? As much as I adore Ghostbusters 2, it's so much fun.
I have to go with the first one.
Yeah, you wouldn't have it without Ghostbusters original. And
it's like I have an issue with the newer ones, and it's not necessarily whether they're good or not. It's Ecto 1 that they use, because if you remember Ghostbusters 2, they redesigned Ecto 1. So why did they go back to the original one for the newer movies?
I never thought about that. Yeah.
Because it's the same car, they just modified the equipment and mounted to it. So why did they go back to the original equipment for the new ones? And I'm not including the other Ghostbusters movie, that one with the
2016.
That one. I'm not talking about that one because they don't use an ambulance; they use a hearse.
Oh,
which
that's
is completely different.
That's right. It was kind of funny though. It not the movie. Maybe that one gag, but still. I think those are some of those don't think about it too much kind of moments, you know.
It's kind of like Taxi, wasn't it? Yeah, with what's her name? Queen Latifah. Is it Queen Latifah? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah. Taxi with Queen Latifah. What a fucking shit movie. But the original French ones were pretty good, actually.
Kind of an odd question here. I guess it's Andromeda, because I'm not familiar with Captain Dylan Hunt. Is that Andromeda?
Yep.
Okay. Because Jonathan asked us, Kevin Sorbo better as Hercules or Captain Dylan Hunt?
Oh, he was far better as Dylan Hunt. Far better as Dylan Hunt.
I'm just glad
he wasn't in a sleeveless shirt as often.
Oh, that helps.
Well, he actually had a uniform on most of the time.
Politics aside, I can't take James Woods or Kevin Sorbo seriously anymore. They were both such great actors back in the day. And I'm a Texas boy. I don't necessarily agree with Hollywood people all the time, even though I live out here. But sometimes I agree more with a little bit of both. I hate both sides on the political spectrum, and I like to avidly piss both off as much as possible. One of my favorite hobbies. That being said, though, don't let your politics supersede your art. Like, art is inherently political. No. We talk about that with Greg all the time, but and it is kind of funny because it is different in a lot of approaches to art and the influences that bring us to those spots. And Sorbo and Woods have there's religious art and there's religious slop. They're interested in religious slop. They're not interested in making an artistic film like, hey, whatever you think about Mel Gibson, Passion of the Christ is an artistically driven film that hits some really, really tough topics and some pertinent topics, of course. Sorbo and Woods are like, hey, contemporary Christian music. Well, sounds great. Woohoo! It's just I can't even give a good example because of how much of a farce they've become from what they were. They don't care about what they're doing. They're making propaganda. Like, it's literally just Christian propaganda, and that's not. The rest of my family is very Christian. Of course, I'm not as religious as I once was. And we're all sci-fi circles here. So
and the best thing about not being as religious as you once was. A real Christian wouldn't judge you for it.
Exactly. But those two would, and that's why Kevin Sorbo's a decent guy, but and he seems like a decent guy. But if you can't separate the politics from the person, which Kevin Sorbo and James Wood, that's what I'm trying to kind of say here is, whatever side of the political spectrum you are on, if you can't have conversations with the other side and go away still being friends at the end of the day, you're not having conversations and you're not really caring about either.
You're not a good friend either.
No. And I think Kevin Sorbo and James Woods are
This is a problem.
Specifically in that category.
Regardless of your political views or religious views, it should not affect your friendship.
No, never.
If you've been friends for so long, then you shouldn't judge your friend just because they think differently to you. This is the problem with the utopian society theory. So everyone's different. So utopian society is impossible to achieve.
It doesn't work. Yeah.
So the only way to do it is to program everyone's brain to be identical, and that's ridiculous. Everyone looks different. Everyone thinks different, speaks different, sounds different. So utopia is an impossible thing. Yet that's what the modern day politics sort of leaning towards. They're thinking, oh yeah, we want everyone to think the same, or else.
And Stanley's brings up a point. Jimmy Fallon too. Even to type Fallon right here. Excuse me. That's we're again, doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum, but Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel and so on and so forth would be on the opposite side of that. And it's kind of the other way, the two sides of the same coin, and it's good to acknowledge that those two sides are there, and still realize you still have that coin. It's not like, oh, well, my coin's a double head side, or my coin's a double tail side, and if it had a head side, it'd be awful. Or there's that yin and yang to everything. It's good to try.
Just in case people might get the wrong opinion of me, when I specifically point out my Doctor Who videos, it's like you can see where my views stand politically by watching those, but you can also see I'm base. I am a centre line in politics. I am centrist. The problem I have is, I don't want to go into it. No further than that. Okay, because politics can be a heated argument, and people form opinions based on your politics, which I think is completely wrong. You shouldn't do that, because that's the whole reason why we have different parties in politics, right? So
yes,
it's one side or the other. It's not right. Yeah.
But no, like literally, very, very much so. I did misquote. My bad, but you brought us into a good point at least. Excuse me. This was. You can see where I stand from my screen names. This is the one I meant to bring up right there. But yeah, I literally what we just said, I think Jonathan kind of sums up for us really well right here. Is most of the shows I've watched have actors of the opposite political party I support. If I went by that, I'd have missed a lot of great shows. 1,000%. I hate both parties, so everybody I watch all the time. I'm like, well, here we are. But it's good to watch something for what it is, rather than what the world supersedes on it. And sometimes, especially in modern stuff, it's gotten a little screwy whenever people supersede thoughts on it prior to it coming out and force the thought to be the film rather than.
Well, put it this way. I was a Doctor Who fan, so when the main character of Doctor Who told me to go out and touch grass, I did it because I would rather go out and touch grass than watch that crap.
Yeah.
So, and it happened. I mean, it literally happened. The views were so bad that you told us to do it.
Hey. Yeah, Doctor Who sealed its own fate.
Exactly. And I dread to think how many shows have or were heading in that direction. I dread to think. I don't want. But
at the same time, that pendulum is swinging back too far the other way.
Yeah,
it's that the pendulum is supposed to sway right here, not stay over here or stay over here. It's supposed to be nice and not stagnant. They're supposed to.
Yeah, but here's the problem. Here's the problem. Right, you got the left on the scale and you got the right on the scale, right? There's a reason that there's a scale in the justice system, right? It's a similar thing for politics, right? You get the very leftist point of view, very left, liberal. Then you get the right, which is the polar opposite. So you have opposites. It's supposed to stay balanced. That's the point. The problem is that with the world, with what's been going on for the many years, the left have tipped the scales politically, and that's been translated into the entertainment industry, and that's why a lot of what we've had has sucked royally.
Yeah,
because
if
you can maintain the balance regardless, then you can probably guarantee that you'll have something that people want to be interested in. But if you skip the scale either way, left or right, it's not going to work.
No. It just pisses off the opposing view side.
You're separating the audience. You're dividing the audience, and that's not what you want to do. You want to keep the audience balanced.
We're at 3 hours. We no.
I don't think we've actually talked much about politics.
No, we haven't. But we're at 3 hours. That would just bring us into another hour.
We've come close. I think we've come close, but I think we've managed to turn it away. But I think the balancing thing is less about it being political rather than being the entertainment industry being affected by politics. So it's not really been a political conversation at the end of this. Politics has been mentioned, but that's about it.
Yes. a political science professor I had for my poli-sci BA said it best: choose a side. No, I actually think that's the worst advice someone could give you, because that just furthers tribalism and furthers the division. It's not choose a side.
Yes, it does.
Understand the other side.
A professor teaching people, what view they should have, should not be pushing either side. They should be literally saying, form your own opinion.
Exactly.
That's literally what they should do. They should literally promote it's okay to have your own opinion. Discuss it. That's the whole point of debate, right? Is to discuss your opinion.
That's life, baby.
Exactly.
Oh, fair. It happened though. I went from I went to 2 different colleges, universities, and both had professors very much
liberal.
At TCU, I had a professor that was very much, let me focus on the historical aspects of everything. I'm not going to give you a sided opinion over anything. I'm going to give you both sides, and you form your own opinion. And I was very happy to have that guy.
That's how
I
they
went
should
to
do
Lamar.
it.
Yeah, I went to Lamar for a year back in my hometown in Beaumont, and had the exact opposite. Very much had somebody just say, "Hey, this is what you should think. This is why. This is why. This is why everybody else is evil." Not just. Oh, the other side or the other thought process, whatever. This is why they think this way, and it's a decent approach, and they might be coming at it from this point of view, but they were like, this is evil, is how it was, and it just there's too many examples of that now, and it sucks, and it really does. You have to lead if you're in a position of teaching, you have to lead folks into thinking for themselves. It's the old adage of, you can feed somebody with a fish for a day. You can teach them to fish, feed them for a life.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? The education system is there to teach you what has happened in the past. And yes, there have been parts of history that have been either left or right. We should learn from that and think, right, we shouldn't shift either direction. We should make sure that we follow the path in the middle. Yes, there will be areas where it splits off. It's like, I have my opinions on certain things that are on the left. I have my opinions on things that are on the right. But not everything. I don't give a shit about most of anything on the left or the right. There are just parts that I agree with. And that's what the point. That's why I'm a centrist. For certain things, I will lean left. For other things, I will lean right. That's the whole point. It's my opinion. They're my opinion.
Yeah,
that's what they
right
need to teach you. Yeah,
it's I'd
rather everyone be similar to me and think be centrist and lean left or right for things that they agree with or disagree with. That makes sense.
And it really sucks in recent years that no matter what side you agree with or disagree with, or if you like.
No. There's only one side you're allowed to agree with.
Oh,
that side.
Now it's
that side.
Now it's both. Now it's very different now. I don't know about over there, but
not in the UK. In the UK, it's this side or go to prison.
This is true.
I'm not being political. That is a fact. People are being sent to prison for being more right-leaning. I'm just saying. Just because they don't agree with anything, but they're centrists. They're not far left. There are even people on the left that are shifting right that get arrested for crying out loud. They don't even care about their own.
Sure, I mean, there's a bit of the opposite of that in the U.S. Where
exactly.
There's literal internment camps happening now. That hasn't happened since World War II. Sheesh, and it wasn't right back then either.
It's never right.
No. No.
So, I mean, we've just had, I think, Restore Britain or Restore UK or whatever they're calling themselves. I'm not a member, by the way, but they've just had a big win in one county in the UK, and that is a big thing for the future of the country. So,
Mummy Sarah, come home. Also, we did just hit 3 hours.
Yeah.
I actually do need to check my phone. I'm supposed to be doing a scene here in a little bit. So let's go ahead and call it 3 hours. We hit 2.5 yesterday and 3 hours today. It's been a long couple days. Good couple days, but long ones. Also, if y'all did not check it out yesterday, I don't know what y'all are doing, but you need to go figure out if dragons are real or not, or if they ever may have been. And there be dragons? Question mark. Go check it out.
Oh yeah.
Go check it out. Y'all know the deal. This though, of course,
it was fun. It was fun yesterday. That's for sure.
It was. In the U.S., it's a two-party system. Both sides control country. A third party will never win. Well, both sides are the exact same side. They agree with 60% of everything, just maybe not the approach and how to do it. The other 40% is just bah, 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 bah. It's all the loud stuff that doesn't really get acted upon too much, depending on what state you're on. It's federal level reform, they're called. I see. But yeah, it's
no. Restore. Reform is a different party. Restore is a new party. They had a big win in one county.
Oh, interesting.
But yeah, so one council election.
If only we could go back to old George Washington and heed his advice of not allowing. What was funny about heeding George Washington's advice?
No, I was remembering that wasn't there a channel or someone that did a AI generated George Washington thing?
Oh God, Darren Aronofsky. As much as I love Darren Aronofsky, he's doing like a whole AI.
That's the thing. That just popped into my head. That's all. Because I saw a little clip of it, and I was like, really? I think
there is a young Washington movie coming out.
Yeah.
What's the point of a third party? To get more than there's a lot more than just two opinions in the world, and to pretend like the tribal version here is going to have all your answers is false. It's a beautiful, ignorant, blissful lie. It's third. George Washington said a third party could take positive attributes of both parties. Yeah, or the worst attributes of a couple different parties too. A little bit of both. Ultimately, George Washington said that we should not have political parties in the U.S. as we were founding the U.S. and becoming a country back in the day. Obviously, this is niche into just the U.S. focus right here. But if that's the case, well, there are 4th, 5th, and 6th, 7th, 8th, and 10th parties, whatever. They're just classified as third parties because the duopoly is so strong that it's just a big uniparty and we're not invited. It's They don't want you classifying yourself in. They don't want the country to have 6 different parties to vote on, because then it wouldn't just be me versus you, and then that debate becomes a much different topic of, hey, this person's right over here, but they're wrong about this and their approach to do it. For what it's worth, I always wanted a parliamentary system in the U.S. Parliament, or isn't it ranked choice voting? Ranked choice voting would do us so much better. If we were to keep the system we have now and still ranked choice voting, we'd be a much better country. But also, I don't know, Parliament in the UK, look at the mess they're in every 5 to 10 years. It's not much different than us in a lot of ways.
Wait, 5 to 10? Never been out of trouble.
No, exactly. That's why I'm just saying everything
cleaned up. That's the thing. See, this is the problem. We
are 3 hours in.
Yeah, everyone had high hopes for Reform UK. But the problem is they've been flipping and turning on their political. What am I thinking of? Well, their plan, but they had their plan, but they keep changing it. They keep flipping and flopping. And Restore Britain, which is a new party, they are actually more likely to be voted in the next election if they get big, if they grow more popular.
Interesting.
They are literally the fastest growing party in the UK. That's it. Manifesto. Thank you, Sans.
I always thought they should split the U.S. in half. The left to the left side, the right to the right side.
That wouldn't happen though. It would be north versus south, though, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be left to right. It would be north and south.
I'm
saying from a historical point of view. From a historical point of view, the South do keep crying out. The South will rise again.
Sort of, kind of. That was maybe 30 years ago.
Yeah, just saying.
It might be more east. I mean, since the 90s, though, especially the 90s, with like, and yeah, that might be more rap culture and stuff like that. But also, East Coast versus West Coast was a huge thing. New York versus LA, and there's still a big chunk of that. But the perfect example with the US right now is, you think most of Middle America would join that? You know, there's too many. You have to sign a contract to stay on your side. Hell no.
Well, you would only have to look at a map, wouldn't you? You would only have to look at a map of which states in the US are from, was it red or blue? Do you do it red or blue? It's red or blue, isn't it?
It's red, blue, purple, yellow for libertarians, green for Green Party. If they ever get there,
I mean, you could literally look at a map of the political leaning side of every state in the US and have it split into two colors, and you'd be able to see it wouldn't be so simple as keeping having it left and right, because states on either side of the country are different. I've seen a projected map of the US with their political views, and
it changes.
It's all over the fucking place. States that were
Florida, Ohio, Nevada, Arizona, and New Mexico flip and flop every single election. Exactly. Pennsylvania as well, Virginia as well. There's a lot of flip flopping. Those states would be considered purple because they go back and forth so often. There might be 4 to 8 years here and there they lean this way or lean that way, and then like we said earlier, well, one thing happens and that pendulum swings back the other way. It just kind of keeps happening. The problems in every state. You have conservative and liberal communities, but what even is liberal and conservative don't mean what the definitions of liberal and conservative mean. I hate that we call it liberal and conservative nowadays, because what the hell is conservative about conservatism? Modern American conservatism spins just as much as any liberal left-leaning president there ever has been. And what's liberal about the liberals in the US taking away rights for everything, left, right, and this is different? That's not giving you the ability to be yourself humanly and liberally. Like the actual definitions of these terms are completely bastardized, and they don't mean what they have meant for hundreds of years, definition wise. And because we're so biased in this modern stake of this or the highway, and if it's the highway, we're moving the goalpost and you're going off the side of the road over here. The goalpost on every single side has moved so far. There is a difference. There's not much of one now. It's a uniparty. Both sides want the exact same thing. If you really look at just with the U.S.,
look at the UK,
Donald and Joe, it's wild. It's too much. But hey, liberals and conservatives are the best terms we have for it? I don't think so. Again, specifying just two terms for blanketing across an entire $300+ million population, country.
It's deep down the rabbit hole, that's for sure.
Yeah, we are deep down the rabbit hole. But yeah, 300 million plus people. You can't have two terms for that many people. It's simply not right, or left. Either one. All that being said, let's jump off all these. It would literally be a new type of and that's what left versus right is. It is a segregation in our minds. There's more than left brain, right brain too. Even just to bring it back inside of ourselves, it's there's so much more nuance to everything that people aren't willing to give anymore, and it's really sad in a lot of ways. It's put us into a bunch of really bad rabbit holes. We shouldn't have gone down as nations or joint nations or individually within our own nations, so on and so forth. Yeah. Yeah, we don't need to go into that one, Jonathan. We could go into Canada and Greenland a different day. But ultimately, if we were to give advice, Melvin, I think the advice that this channel we could give best would just be kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
Follow the line in front of you, form your own opinions. That's all you have to do. Don't listen to everyone. Just form your own. Don't let anyone force you to think the way that they do.
If someone's telling you,
which is the problem with the education system.
Pick this. Yeah. If someone's telling you you have to pick this, you probably don't.
Yeah. You always have the choice. Listen to what they say or forget it.
Yep.
Personally, I'd say forget it and do your own thing.
Specifically, like saying there are 6 series better than Stargate SG1 and not even including SGA in there. Like, people are wild. People are wild sometimes, right?
Or SGU.
Or as much as I love SGU, I wouldn't say it's better than SG1.
No, but it should have been in there. It should have been there. It should be included.
No, because if Firefly is in there, neither should SGU. Well, if Firefly's in there, maybe SGU should have been. But we said Firefly should not have been in there, and I kind of think the same for SGU.
It would have been different. What they should have said, 6 shows that could be better than Stargate, not SG1, because that's very specific.
You need something specific.
If they had said the Stargate franchise, it would have been a bit better. Because then you can compare the entire franchise. Then okay, you're talking about the movie SG1, Atlantis, Universe, Infinity, and Origin. That's the franchise, right?
That might get hard because then
that might have been better.
I don't think so. Just because it goes so general, like Monk.
But you still have the same problem with their choices. That's the problem.
Sure, but even like bringing up TNG or like that could have been on that list. But saying like it becomes a different conversation where then it's like, well, Asimov versus Stargate or Joss Whedon sci-fi versus Stargate. You know, it changes the specificity of what the conversation is. But we are 3 hours, 13, almost 15 minutes into this thing. Again, y'all, this has been a wild one. Melvin, one more time before we get out of here. TNG or the Orville, which is better? I haven't seen either.
I said TNG, but the Orville was pretty close. The Orville was pretty close. I mean, I love Star Trek, but TNG it had a rocky start. Season 1 wasn't that great, but it progressed and it moved on. So let's say progressed. Very modern. I use that terminology lightly. It was it progressed. It was very progressive as well, which yes, it makes sense that what people say about it these days. But with the Orville, it's just it's the modern Trek that we should have had with a bit of humor.
That's what I always hear. I'm interested in both. Very intrigued. Yeah. Well, real quick, this has been Sci-Fi Sundays, of course. Housekeeping for this week. We are finishing, Sarah and I, tomorrow, Farscape as a series. We have the Peacekeeper Wars the following week, and then we're done with Farscape in general on our Patreon watch through with our patrons.
And I will be joining them for Peacekeeper Wars.
Peacekeeper Wars! We're getting Money and Melvin to join us. My buddy Money and Melvin are going to be joining us, and this is going to be a fun one. Outside of that, Tuesday seems to be fairly open. Wednesday is going to be a SciTrek Maneuver was last week, so Stargate Outpost this week. That's right. Thursday, Creatures and Cryptids have been moved to Saturdays, so we're going to be Saturday in that one up with you. Friday, though, we'll be back with some Paradise discussion, whether it be interviewing Lucas Shep from Season 1, Episode 4 of Paradise, or diving into Season 2 discussion, which I forgot to mention at the beginning. I did watch the first 2 episodes of Paradise so far of Season 2, and it's different. Very different. Literally haven't been in a bunker yet, but very interesting. I'm intrigued. I already kind of like the season in a different way than the first season, so that's cool. Are you streaming on G30 this week?
I'm not 100% sure because obviously I've got an issue with my streaming and recording of the Space Engineers, so I'm not sure I'm going to be able to stream on that for a while. I'm looking into possibly getting some new equipment, but I won't be able to get them until next month, unfortunately, because financial necessities. But I have found some things that may be able to help, so I'll be able to start streaming games again, provided it helps. I hope it does. Yeah. Because I really want to get back into streaming Space Engineers specifically and Farming Simulator if I can. So, which I've been saying I'm going to do, but I haven't been able to. But I think I have the same issue with that as well. It's just my system is old. I need a new one.
You need that Elgato or the second PC.
Well, I've got an idea of getting myself a decent spec laptop with an Elgato with capture card, so that I'll use the laptop for the streaming system, and then use my existing PC as the gaming system. So just to split it up so that the system doesn't have to do all the work. So yeah, I'll still be using it I'll still be using the main PC for streaming with you, but the laptop will be mainly for gaming. So yeah,
nice. We all know where to go. Quest RRC, Quest G30. I like the little rhyme that always is there with it. It's a good little alliteration. And that's the ultimate thing. We all have opinions, and we can all have them without despising each other. And let's get back to that. Like, please. Yeah.
Form your own opinion. Form your own opinion, and just like any Christian, love each other.
Damn right, you know. All of that being said, y'all know we love and appreciate y'all. Stay cosmic, SciTrekkers. We will see you in the next video.